catch is made, and he fumbles. Valley causes a fumble. It's picked up. Recovered by Mason Morris. Mason picks up where he left off last year, one of the leading rushers in Central Iowa.
It's time now for West Des Moines Valley High School football on the Central Iowa Sports Network. CISN.TV is Iowa's premier source for live streamed high school football. High school football on CISN.TV is brought to you by Atlantic Bottlers, Schottenkirk Chevrolet, Shields, the Better Business Bureau, G&L Clothing. Now let's go to our CISN.TV team for Valley Tiger High School football.
Great price, great selection, great experience. That's what people expect today. What isn't expected is how hard we work after the sale to keep your business. Hard work, honesty, integrity, discipline, trust, character. These core values are why we grow every year and why we continue to acquire more dealerships. Experience the Schottenkirk way of doing business and come visit our new Ford dealership in Indianola. Great price.
This is Iowa. And here, we don't just dream of a better tomorrow, of a smarter way to do business or live, of perseverance and progress. We inspire it in others. We challenge the conventional, reimagine what it means to be better, and then dare ourselves to make it great. This is Iowa. And here, we don't just dream, we make history.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
Why do I look for the seal? It's about trust. Whether I'm buying a car, hiring a contractor, finding a tax preparer, or an honest mechanic, the Better Business Bureau seal means this business meets high standards. When I see the seal, I know I'll get what I pay for. No more taking chances and no more worries. And I feel good about supporting local businesses. My life is so much easier knowing I can always trust BBB accredited businesses. It pays to look for the seal. See for yourself at bbb.org/Iowa. Why do I look?
Good evening to you, wherever you may be around the world. We are back for another Friday night of high school football here from Valley Stadium in West Des Moines, Iowa. Hello, everybody. Paul Yeager alongside the multi-talented Keith Bornis. We're still trying to figure out what those multi-talents are, but when we find them, we will discover them together. The first is, he is going to tell us how he's doing. How are you doing, Keith?
So far, so good. It is a beautiful night.
Oh, man, isn't it something? You did
Beautiful
great
night.
on this weather. That is one of your talents, is you control the weather.
As much as I can.
Yeah, and that's fantastic. And we should have a good, if not great, game tonight between Southeast Polk and Valley. These are two teams, I think if you stack them against each other and look at their stats, they're pretty much mirror image of one another. Not in the top, not in the bottom, real solid in the middle.
Very. Both teams have very good running backs. Both teams have very good defenses. Both teams a little questionable up front offensively on the line. Both have quarterbacks that are progressing. It's going to be an interesting game.
You have the 4-1 Valley Tigers and the 3-2 Southeast Polk Rams. Brad Zelenovich is the coach at Southeast Polk. He was at Polk as an assistant, went to Ankeny for a couple of years, now back at Polk. And it's like he never left at quarterback. He's got another Starcevich under center.
Yes, and is moving the ball around well, both a threat with his feet, with his arm. He's a fun kid to watch.
And his brother Kyle at Iowa State is a holder. I don't know if you saw it in the paper there a couple weeks ago. He's had 3 torn knees, 2 on one and 1 on the other. And he's this year trying to muscle it out as the holder for Iowa State. But the real key of this Southeast Polk team is in their backfield already. Speaking of Iowa State, they have already offered the running back for Southeast Polk a scholarship after his freshman year.
He is an amazing athlete. Tough to bring down. He's fast. He's strong. It's going to be one of those things tonight where Valley really is going to have to, if they're going to try and get a win here, they're going to have to try and get him stopped with 7 guys so that their defensive backs don't get sucked into that because they'll dump it right over the top.
We're talking about Gavin Williams. He is a 6 foot, 195-pound sophomore. He is a track runner, and Keith, we always look to you for track insight. This guy's fast.
He's very fast. He was impressive last year as a freshman. This year, they're very excited about what this kid could do. Hundreds, 200s. And when you say that he's 195 pounds, when you're standing next to him, he looks bigger than that.
And, and sometimes when you're seeing him running by you, you're like, he looks bigger. But now he's smaller because he's running away into the end zone. He has scored so far this season 23. He's only scored 1 touchdown receiving, but 7 touchdowns on the ground. And when I say receiving, they try to get him the ball, not just handing it off, but try to find him in the flats on those bubble screens, line him up somewhere else. You just never know where number 21 is going to be.
Well, one of the keys to their success is you got to get your athletes the ball in the open. He can run up the middle. He can sprint to the side, but he's kind of fun to watch in the open.
And we'll hear a little bit more about him from both coaches. Both Gary Swenson and Brad Zelenovich and I had conversations before the game. We'll tune in with them in just a little bit, and we'll look at the Valley Tigers here in just a moment. But let's continue on with Southeast Polk. I like to call it linebacker high because for years they just had fantastic linebackers year after year. Again, this year, Mason Morgan, Willie Peck, and Luke Board really solidify that defense.
They do. And Southeast Polk, linebacker U, wrestling U, they're known for people who know how to wrap people up and take them to the ground. And these guys, I think they enjoy it.
Usually the guys that play linebacker, you could spin them up anywhere, and they wouldn't care. They are just happy to be there and just send them in. Kind of like Joel Lanning last night, 20 tackles for the Cyclones.
That's a bunch. He really looks good on that defensive side of the ball.
And he was a good quarterback, played at that level, and now all of a sudden he's a candidate to be an all Big 12 performer if he keeps playing like that.
I'll vote for him.
Absolutely. Defensively, also another guy that Coach Swenson is very concerned about. That's Bo Ira off the defensive end, 6'2", 220-pound junior.
He can set an edge. It's very tough to get around him. He's always keeping that outside, the field side or sideline arm open. When he sets an edge, nobody seems to get out there very well. And then after he does set the edge, if the flow of the game is coming toward him, he can get off that block very well and make tackles.
All right. Well, we will talk about their opponent, the Valley Tigers, when we come back. Keith Bornes, Paul Yeager, and the rest of the crew here. We are in pregame between Valley and Southeast Polk. We're coming back right after this on CISN.TV.
I opened the Hearing Clinic to offer patients and their families a positive healthcare experience. If you have trouble hearing clearly at church, at the movies, watching TV, or with your friends and family in a group conversation, what are you waiting for? In less than half an hour, we can give you peace of mind and answer any questions that you may have. Call us today to schedule your appointment. The Hearing Clinic, 515-440-3323. We listen, you hear.
Hi, Ron here, head coach of Westside Auto Pros. When your car's on the injured reserve, you want to get it back in the game as soon as possible. I know that. That's why you need to bring it here to Westside Auto Pros. I have a team of experts that can fix almost every automotive injury. Whether it's a fractured joint, a brake, or if your car just got its bell rung, no problem. We can even do a complete physical on your car to make sure it's game ready for the entire season. So bring your car to Westside Auto Pros and we'll get it back in the starting lineup in no time. Hey, you guys are dogging it back here. Let's move it, move it, move it.
Moms typically get to make a majority of the healthcare decisions for their family. That can be a lot of pressure, but not for me, because I know the choice is ours. For medical tests like MRIs, X-rays, CAT scans, and of course mammograms, ask your doctor to refer you to Iowa Radiology. They work around our hectic schedules. They're the best at what they do, and they're so great with my family. They truly care, and it shows. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule an appointment. Iowa Radiology. Our focus is your good health.
Miss your hometown clothing store? The one that had it all? Everything to get the work done, all in one place? G&L Clothing is your hometown Iowa store. Stop in and see us, or we're only a click or phone call away. family owned for nearly a century. G&L Clothing, 1801 Ingersoll, Des Moines.
G&L Clothing, your size, your style, we've got it all.
Hi, welcome back. Paul Yeager, Keith Bornes. Hi.
Hello, Paul.
Hey, Valley Tigers playing tonight against Southeast Polk here on CISN.TV. We have other games on the network tonight. Dar Danielson over at Waukee, homecoming for the Warriors, and they are playing. I have it on my list. No, I don't. They're home tonight. The Waukee Warriors. Yeah, homecoming. So that's a game you can also watch on CISN.TV. We'll have Southeast Polk and Valley, a good game, I think. Mostly these two teams here doing battle in District 4. This is when the games matter. This is when the games count. Last week, the Tigers knocked off Fort Dodge 59-14, and Southeast Polk beat Indianola 30-22. In that game against Fort Dodge, what did Valley do right?
They did a lot of things right. They did a couple of things wrong, and that's where Fort Dodge got their points. But what Valley is working on right now, Coach Cochran is trying to figure out what a good combination for that offensive line is. And he's tried 5, 6, 7 guys out, and then in different positions. And all of them looked pretty good. The combination that they go with tonight is a mystery to me. Paul might have it.
According to Coach,
right,
these are the starters tonight. Lex Nelson, Trey Yates, Tate Nelson, Carter Lawrence, Jake Remsburg. Now, with Lex, he has been limited this season because of a thigh injury.
Yeah, nagging. And it's one of those things that you just wish you could shake and be done with it, but it's been a lingering one.
And, you might see a little bit of Zach Shaner in there. I think we've seen some of Logan.
Logan Mueller's been in.
Mueller in there.
And I was really impressed with Logan last Friday night. He did a nice job setting his feet. One of the things that he's got going for him, he's got very good size, and he knows how to pass block.
Oh, well, that's important when you're trying to throw the ball like Bo Lombardi is doing. He's thrown 6 touchdowns, 3 interceptions this season. Who he's looking for, Tariq Brown, Jalen Long, Ryan New, his top 3 receivers.
So far, and, Luke Matney is working his way back in. The thing about Bo is he does make good pre-snap reads. He's kind of locked in on his receivers early, and so hence the 3 interceptions. But he does spread the ball around pretty well. And so if he can continue to do that, spread the ball around to those guys, he's got plenty of people that can go out and catch it.
All right, and what they'll be doing is try to put that ball in the end zone. And this season, they're averaging somewhere in the in that neighborhood of the upper 20s for points. And you've played such good teams this year. Both of these squads have really played tough schedules.
Southeast Polk starts off the year with that very tight ball game against Iowa City West when Valley's over at Bettendorf, traditional powerhouse.
Yeah.
So coming off of that, you know that tonight's going to be a battle, and it is for positioning in district play. It's going to be interesting to see how they respond. Not that anybody is looking ahead, but it'd be interesting to see how people respond after this, because on paper, the talent has been front-loaded.
Yeah.
And so both teams still very keyed up, wanting to gain position, and then it's in-district play to find out top 2.
Newton is 5-0, but there's a but with that, and we'll see how that shakes out here in a couple of weeks when the Valley Tigers play them. The good-looking Keith Bornes needs to take a tiny little break before we get ready to do this broadcast. I'm going to go and play the coaches' interviews for you now.
Perfect.
We'll take a break. You can listen in. We'll talk to Brad Zelenovich and Gary Swenson when we come back. This is high school football on CISN.TV.
Every month or so, there's another story in the media about when and how often we need to get our mammograms. Kind of confusing. When this happens, I like to consult with experts. So I called Iowa Radiology. They recommend women get an annual mammogram starting at age 40. They know that it's the best way to detect cancers early and save lives. And that's good enough for me. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule your mammogram. Iowa Radiology. Our focus is your good health. Every month or so, there's another story in the media about when and how often we...
Many times at the Lodge of Ashworth, new members come to us from their big, beautiful homes. They find our spacious 2- and 3-bedroom suites to be an ideal fit. We have a limited number of these larger and penthouse-style suites, perfect for the retiring executive style living. We have suites ready for immediate move-in, or we can help you customize. The Lodge of Ashworth is all-inclusive, no surprise additional fees or upcharges. Call us today for a private tour and ask us about our flexible pricing plans. Many times at the Lodge of
guys, they think they know what special means. At Godfather's Pizza, we do special, and we do it better. We add the T. There's a Godfather specialty pizza with your name on it. Classic combo, all meat combo, hot stuff, taco, yeah, even veggie and more. All of them piled high with the best toppings and 100% real cheese. Treat yourself special. Order specialty pizzas from Godfather's Pizza. The other guy.
When people visit the Lodge of Ashworth, they fall in love with our grounds. They're impressed with our dining room, but it is our spacious 2- and 3-bedroom suites that attract the most attention. With bay windows, full kitchens, large walk-in closets, and modern appliances, the Lodge feels like home. We have suites move-in ready, or we will help you customize. Create a home office, media room, or bedroom for visiting friends or family. Call us today for a private tour and ask about our flexible pricing plans.
All right, Coach, back at Valley Stadium, and this one is, would you say that Valley and your team pretty similar?
Oh, it would be a compliment to us, obviously, as good as they are and have been. They just got so many weapons, and, we feel like we're better. We'll great measuring stick for our program to see kind of where we're at against perennial power, in Western Iowa.
Yeah, your squad, you both have played Johnson. How much did you watch that tape when they played Johnson to just kind of see how some of those similarities were?
Yeah, Johnson's another quality team, and made some mistakes against Valley, but warranted. Valley had a lot to do with those things. So, I'd be pretty evenly matched, between those two teams. And, it's hard high school comparing scores and teams this, and, every week's a different week. And you just kind of roll with it day by day and see how it goes.
Your offensive line, a big force, kind of gives them concern. Do you feel that the line is really kind of what is, you said earlier this week, they have gelled. How is it that they lead then?
Yeah, a bunch of guys that really care and take pride in being physical, and running the football, kind of getting back to, what we were known for years ago. And they've done a nice job. We're got 5, we feel like pretty good players, and 3 of them are juniors, and they played a lot as a sophomore, and coach has done a nice job getting them, acclimated and playing well together. And, they're going to have to play well tonight for us to move the ball offensively.
You got some pretty good skill players, wide receivers, Flynn, Johnson. Those guys really give you concern. What is it that they do that frightens other teams?
I think they're pretty good athletes. They got decent speed, and at times can make you miss. After the catch, yards after the catch, have been good for us. These first 5 games, and same type of thing. We try and find ways to get them the ball, and see what they can do.
All right, your quarterback, Starcevich, is lead this team. You try to get Williams the ball. Talk about the combo of those two.
Yeah, Shane's he's been really good. He's executed the plan, for the most part, really well, minus some stretches against Johnston. Done a nice job in the read game and kind of managing the game, distributing the ball, and understanding what we're trying to do. So he'll have to, play well. We put a lot of responsibility on our quarterbacks, as do most teams, and get us in and out of good plays and make good decisions with the ball.
When you have a Williams Division I athlete behind him, it kind of, you always have that card to play.
Yeah, it helps. He's highly touted. Obviously, a lot of people know about him or talking about him. He can be better too. He's just a young guy, and I think he's still learning. The speed of the game at this level, and he's he's played well for us and done some different things. Not only carrying the ball but catching the ball out of the backfield, and we'll have to find ways to get him the ball tonight.
On your defensive side, on the end, Bo Ira really kind of draws a lot of attention. What does he bring to the game?
Well, you know, I've noticed him really kind of come into his own early in his junior season. You know, he was another guy that played a lot of football for us as a sophomore. You know, maybe he wasn't quite ready, but we needed him to be ready, and he's really flourished this year. He's developed himself. He had a nice offseason, developed himself physically, and he's been more physical, you know, for us. So he's somebody. He's a good athlete. He's a big, strong kid, and he's, you know, somebody who we're excited about continuing to progress.
The rest of your defense, linebackers always seem to be a strength of Southeast Polk. This year doesn't look any different.
Yeah, you know, 2 seniors in there. You know, a couple guys we moved positions. You know, from last year, Willie Peck, you know, was outside. We moved him inside, and he's done some nice things. You know, he's a little bit undersized, but his 1-2's really high. You know, he tries really hard, and he's had a nice year for us in there. Mason Morgan, another one. You know, it's just kind of by committee. You know, those guys, you know, like I told you earlier, defensively, it's kind of all 11 guys, you know, playing well together. You know, the unit functions better, you know, when all guys are on top of their game and fitting the run the right way and just, you know, no missed assignments and try and keep, you know, these guys from not having big plays, which is a concern.
Sometimes I would imagine as a coach, when you have all 11 and you don't rely on 2 or 3 guys, it probably helps you sleep at night a little better.
Well, you know, yeah, you know, it can. And I think that's the goal, is understanding that every position and every player is important on every play, you know, and that's the difference between really good high school teams and you know, no different than the defense we're going to face tonight. You know, they play really well as a unit, you know, and they have for years, and so they understand the system. You know, they play hard, and we're getting better. You know, we feel like, you know, we have got better speed than we've had in the past on the perimeter and defensively, you know, and they're going to get tested tonight for sure, so.
What's the biggest concern you have of the Valley offense?
Well, their playmaking ability. You know, obviously, you know, they've got speed in the backfield. A veteran guy who's, you know, played in a lot of big games and had a lot of big plays. You know, their receivers are big, strong, physical kids, you know, and they find ways. They do a good job of getting those guys the ball and letting them make plays with their feet after they catch it. You know, so those are some things that, you know, we're going to try and limit big plays, keep them in front of us, and, you know, got to rally to the ball and tackle well. So we'll see.
A couple of key points from the coach book there. That's all good stuff.
Yeah.
Good fundamentals.
You got it.
All right. Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
That's head coach Brad Zelenovich of the Southeast Polk Rams. They're getting ready to face the Valley Tigers. When we come back, we'll talk with head coach of the Tigers, Gary Swenson. This is CISN.TV.
You want to get stronger, faster, healthier. You want more. You want to be part of something bigger than yourself. A place for people of all ages, all walks of life, that provides opportunities for all to succeed. We do that. We're the why. Build more than muscle. Build a stronger community. You want to get
Selection, great experience. That's what people expect today. What isn't expected is how hard we work after the sale to keep your business. Hard work, honesty, integrity, discipline, trust, character. These core values are why we grow every year and why we continue to acquire more dealerships. Experience the Schottenkirk way of doing business and come visit our new Ford dealership in Indianola. Great price, great selection.
And here, we don't just dream of a better tomorrow, of a smarter way to do business or live, of perseverance and progress. We inspire it in others. We challenge the conventional, reimagine what it means to be better, and then dare ourselves to make it great. This is Iowa, and here, we don't just dream, we make history.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game, Shields.
So which game, other than the Johnson game, did you watch the most? Because you've got that commonality of that opponent. Is that the one you focus the most on in prep for Southeast Polk?
Well, we watched all of them. I think the big surprise game that they've played was how easily they dispatched Centennial. That's the team that eliminated us a year ago, and they're basically returning all those guys. I think they've had some injuries, but I think we've seen a lot of improvement from Southeast Polk as we watched them on film. They're playing very well right now, and they've played a tough schedule. You know, they opened with Iowa City West, and they've been in competitive games and have beaten some good teams.
Your schedule's been no slouch, though, either. You've had a pretty rough go of it.
Well, I don't think anybody plays a better schedule than we do if you look at it. Take the first 4 games, and then our division, I think top to bottom, is strong comparatively to some of the other ones, but we've been in some good competitive football games. That's true, and I think tonight will reflect another one just like it.
This one, when you look on paper, of course, stats and sizes and heights, it looks like you two are almost looking in the mirror at one another.
I think the part of their team that has impressed me the most, they're playing some young kids in the offensive line, big guys, and they're getting better. They're playing pretty well, and then you've got the Division I tailback behind them that you never go wrong handing it to him. So they got a few things going for them.
That's offensive line. You'd said earlier this week, if it's a bigger one, that's a little more of a challenge for your guys. How do you address size and already 5 games of experience?
Well, I mean, you win at the line of scrimmage, and size helps, but it isn't the determining factor all the time. I mean, it really comes down to how you, on defense, you got to be able to get off blocks, get to the ball, and offensively, you're just doing the opposite. You're trying to sustain blocks as long as you can, give the guys behind you a chance to either run and create some space or giving that quarterback time to get the ball to some guys on the perimeter. So every game is a back and forth up front, and usually the team that, barring a huge turnover discrepancy, the team that can maintain its status at the line of scrimmage is usually going to win the game.
Are you feeling you're as healthy as you've been all season tonight?
I think we could be, yeah. I mean, we've we lost a couple kids we'll never get back this season, but some of those guys that were out with nagging ankle sprains, all those running backs are available tonight where they hadn't been going into last week. So we're feeling good about that. I think that if we can keep everybody healthy now, everybody's in that boat though. I mean, none of us really have any depth. I think we can all put some good players out there, but when kids start to go down, your performance is going to suffer.
You've been in coaching a couple of years. You've seen some things. One of the big evolvements, it looks like, is when you have such a good player, maybe a running back. Traditionally, you just hand the ball off to him over and over again. But now you have offenses that put that guy out as a receiver or find him in space or create a mismatch somewhere. How has that changed and evolved, and how you coach that to your players and getting ready for a player like Williams?
Well, you can window dress things a lot of different ways. All of us are using spread concepts we weren't probably using 10 years ago. Sometimes you do it based on your personnel, but you're still trying to get that good back, the ball between the tackles, and whether it's a zone scheme or a gap scheme, you're trying to create some room for him to run. And then, if he's a elite type player, he's gonna be his own blocker at some point and make you miss or run over you. So he's really a good one. We're impressed with him, and we've got a couple of our own guys that we consider right up there in that same caliber. So there's going to be some good talent out on that field tonight.
You do the same thing with Mason. You just like you did with his brother and other backs that you've had for years.
Yeah, you want to get. We're not good enough to just pound it downhill as we have in some other years. If we were, we'd be doing that right now because that really takes a toll on the other team. But most teams now have got receivers that they want to get the ball to as well, and maybe you've got a couple other running backs you can put in there in the slot. It's an effective way to move the ball, but it's still easier turn around and hand it off to a dude lined up 7 yards deep and just let him roll. But you got to be good enough to do that as well.
All right, tonight, their defense, what kind of challenges does that present your offense?
They're big. I mean, they've got some big kids on both sides of the ball. Everybody we play is, one, they're well coached, and two, everybody's got a few guys that are just really good football players, and they're no different. I think there's been years when their linebacker core maybe has been more talented and has had more size than this group, but they're still very capable. I've been impressed with what I've seen them do. But if we can't move the ball, we're going to be in trouble. We've got to be able to score some points because I don't see us shutting these guys out. They're going to score points, and I think it'll be a back-and-forth game, and I think it'll take 25 to 30 to win the game.
All right, Coach, we'll see how it progresses. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's head coach Gary Swenson of the Valley Tigers. The kickoff between Valley and Southeast Polk is coming your way next. This is CISN.TV.
Is Iowa. And here, we don't just dream of a better tomorrow, of a smarter way to do business or live, of perseverance and progress. We inspire it in others. We challenge the conventional, reimagine what it means to be better, and then dare ourselves to make it great. This is Iowa, and here, we don't just dream, we make history. This
to
is
everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
For the Seal, it's about trust. Whether I'm buying a car, hiring a contractor, finding a tax preparer, or an honest mechanic, the Better Business Bureau Seal means this business meets high standards. When I see the Seal, I know I'll get what I pay for. No more taking chances and no more worries. And I feel good about supporting local businesses. My life is so much easier knowing I can always trust BBB accredited businesses. It pays to look for the Seal. See for yourself at bbb.org/Iowa. Why do I look for the Seal?
I opened the hearing clinic to offer patients and their families a positive healthcare experience. If you have trouble hearing clearly at church, at the movies, watching TV, or with your friends and family in a group conversation, what are you waiting for? In less than half an hour, we can give you peace of mind and answer any questions that you may have. Call us today to schedule your appointment. The Hearing Clinic, 515-440-3323. We listen, you hear.
It's almost time, and here they come. The 2017 Valley Tigers take the field here at Valley Stadium for their Class 4A District 4 contest tonight against Southeast Polk. Hello, everybody. Paul Yeager alongside Keith Bordas. This is CISN.TV, your home of live streaming in the Des Moines metro area, and we're glad to have you here as, Keith, we get ready for Valley and Southeast Polk. You just heard the two coaches talk. Did you learn anything?
Learned a little bit. Both pretty dynamic people.
They are, and they both know the game, and they've both, been around it a long time. Brad, in fact, I always forget to bring it up, but maybe it's just because I'm trying to wipe that memory. Watching Brad play at Simpson College and just dominate the Wartburg Knights. I remember watching Brad play. And now he's got a team that, he had the years where he was an assistant at Southeast Polk, went and took the head job at Ankeny after the split in those first couple of years, and then went back when Denny Muller stepped aside at Southeast Polk. And here he is. He's bringing a team in tonight, 3-2. Lost their first two to Iowa City West and Johnston, and then they beat Des Moines East, Centennial, and Indianola. I think a lot of folks thought they'd be 3-2. They just kind of thought those 3-2s would be a little different. They thought maybe a win over Johnston and a loss to Centennial, but flip it, reverse it. And but Valley, the one loss coming to Dowling Catholic, and they've already had the coin flip, and Valley has won and deferred. They'll defend the North and kick away to Southeast Polk. So they'll be on offense, Keith. What's Southeast Polk have to do tonight to win?
Southeast Polk is going to have to set that edge. and make people run in the middle. Test that offensive line of Valley's and see if they've gelled together. Coach Linovich said that his offensive line has really started to gel together. So if Valley can do the same thing after the work they've done, it'll make things interesting up front.
As Coach Swenson said, you know, if we could run the ball downhill and just pound it down, we would, but we just can't. Got to change your offense. You got to be a little more creative, but also, let's face it, the players are different. Their athleticism is different in what they can do. And football minds have evolved. You figured out that mismatches are where it's at as opposed to just pounding that guy and running them over. It's still fun to do that, don't get me wrong.
Right. And, you know, I don't remember the last time Valley High School went out onto the field and did not have a tight end.
Well, last year's tight end is lining up under center. Lining up to kick the football away for the Valley Tigers is Tinsley Wright. He'll put his foot into it, and it's a nice kick. Taken inside the 5, momentarily dropped by Austin Johnson. Johnson still on his feet. He gets to the outside edge. He's at the 20, and then he's pushed out around the 22, and that'll be where the Rams go to work.
Very nice job by Southeast Polk setting up that kick return. A lot of times, Paul, when you drop the ball on a kickoff return or a punt return, for that split second, it just disrupts everything because people say, oh, he dropped the ball. They kind of let up a little bit, and it should be just opposite of that. But a lot of times it's not.
Well, and that's actually what Coach Swenson told me earlier in the week. He said that's kind of how Javon Mason got his touchdown return, his kickoff return, as he dropped the ball. And it just was enough of a disruption of the offense. Starcevich hands it off to Williams to start. That's a good place to start. He makes one man miss, gets up to the 30 on first down, and he's pushed out of bounds by Victor Areola, the safety.
It's not very often that you see a running back come up and put 2 people on the ground using the stiff arm. It's even more rare when that running back is a sophomore.
Gain of 11, first down and 10. Southeast Polk will have it, going right to left, wearing the all-white with yellow pants. Very much, if you're squinting just hard, you see the Iowa Hawkeyes out there. Play action, go right side, and it's near, and it is picked off. Interception made by the guy who made the tackle on the last play, Victor Areola.
A nice job reading the keys. You know, when you have a running back that is going to be attacking the line as hard as Williams does, it's a situation where your defensive backs have to be reading the offensive line. If they're coming out to block, you know it's going to be a run. If they're sitting back into a pass protection, you know you're looking at a pass. Defensive backs, all of them across the board did a great job reading the offensive line.
Well, Starcevich's pass initially was tipped, and then Areola made the interception. They were trying to get, I think, out to Nate Flynn. In motion goes Brown. They give to Mason. He goes left. Now he's going to cut back out right, trying to follow a block, couple of blocks, and there's going to be 1 penalty, 2. This one's coming back regardless. Now, watching that play, Keith, after Mason got the ball, Bo ran out to the right and tried to seal that edge, but man, Southeast Polk just blew it up.
Yes, when you set the edge as well as you do, as Southeast Polk did on that, it stretches everything so much further to the sideline. And when I believe it was Matney came back in to try and get a block, it was a little push in the back, and all those hankies that came out, you just hoped that they would pick the one that wasn't quite where the spot was.
Yeah, it goes all the way back to the 46-yard line. Tigers will have it. Mason goes up the gut and then darts it outside, makes one man miss, tries to cut back, and he's got a whole lot of turf in front of him. He's at the 35-30. He's got an edge. 25-20 down the left sideline. Javon Mason!
Did they call him out at the 1?
I've yet to see an indication of a score, but it looks like a Valley touchdown.
If the scoreboard puts it up, it must be right.
46-yard touchdown run for Javon Mason.
I tell you what, that Andy Gress and Nick Bogue, they must have known more than we did.
I looked at the near, the far, the back, the front referee. Nobody put their arms up. That's all right. Two-play drive goes 46 yards, scoring Javon Mason as they show the replay on the board there. As the extra point is up and good. Valley leads 7-0 back to this CISN TV.
Hi, Ron here, head coach of Westside Auto Pros. When your car's on the injured reserve, you want to get it back in the game as soon as possible. I know that. That's why you need to bring it here to Westside Auto Pros. I have a team of experts that can fix almost every automotive injury. Whether it's a fractured joint, a brake, or if your car just got its bell rung, no problem. We can even do a complete physical on your car to make sure it's game ready for the entire season. So bring your car to Westside Auto Pros and we'll get it back in the starting lineup in no time. Hey, you guys are dogging it back here. Let's move it, move it, move it.
Moms typically get to make a majority of the healthcare decisions for their family. That can be a lot of pressure, but not for me, because I know the choice is ours. For medical tests like MRIs, X-rays, CAT scans, and of course mammograms, ask your doctor to refer you to Iowa Radiology. They work around our hectic schedules, they're the best at what they do, and they're so great with my family. They truly care, and it shows. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule an appointment. Iowa Radiology, our focus is your good health.
Kickoff is taken at the goal line by Johnson, and he's run out of bounds at the 14. Austin Johnson really nowhere to go, and that'll be backed up field position for the Rams as they try to recover from a two-play, 46-yard drive. Javon Mason, that play looked like it was designed up the middle, but he went right and then cut it all the way back left. Got a little help from his friends. Touchdown, Tigers.
Yes, and it looked like he had an abundance of friends.
Yeah.
I didn't know the kid was so popular.
Yeah, you know, just you never know what they're going to get when, you know, they get out in a new school. Kind of nervous. Starcevich will go to work from the shotgun now. Play action keeps it. He's got a big seam and a big hole. Starcevich, he's across midfield. He's got one man to beat. Starcevich at the 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, 85-yard run for the quarterback, Shane Starcevich, and just like that, we're nearly tied.
I believe we were addressing the quarterback situation earlier in the broadcast, Paul, where Valley really knows that they got to be watching out for that running back in the backfield and how to keep their heads up and find out that Starcevich can throw and run.
And he actually is one of their better, in fact, he is their leading rusher when it comes to yards. And for sure he is now. 57 carries, 343. Penalty on the extra point attempt. We'll sort this one out. It's good, but it's a legal procedure against Southeast Polk, so like it never happened. Starcevich is averaging 6 yards a carry. Williams is averaging 4.3. And earlier in the season, the Rams were all about running it with Starcevich and didn't even give it to the guy who has the Division I offer from Iowa State, and Gavin Williams.
You know, if you'd have told me that 10 minutes ago, I'd have said, Paul, that's silly. But after looking at it, maybe they got something going there.
One play, 85 yards. The extra point attempt is good, and the Rams have tied it at 7. This is CISN.
Miss your hometown clothing store? The one that had it all? Everything to get the work done, all in one place? G&L Clothing is your hometown Iowa store. Stop in and see us, or we're only a click or phone call away. Family owned for nearly a century. G&L Clothing, 1801 Ingersoll, Des Moines.
G&L Clothing, your size, your style, we've got it all.
New members come to us from their big, beautiful homes. They find our spacious 2- and 3-bedroom suites to be an ideal fit. We have a limited number of these larger and penthouse-style suites, perfect for the retiring executive style living. We have suites ready for immediate move-in, or we can help you customize. The Lodge of Ashworth is all-inclusive, no surprise additional fees or upcharges. Call us today for a private tour and ask us about our flexible pricing plans.
7-7 back here at Valley Stadium, as getting ready to kick it off is number 12, Luke Williams, a 5'11 senior. 165 pounds, puts his leg into it at the 40. High, but playable catch or kick, and it's taken at the 10, up to the 15, comes down the penalty flags as going down is Creighton Mitchell. Flags back somewhere on the far sideline or the far hash.
They could be talking a little bit about a hold.
But that is not where the play was run, so sometimes it's that you on a kick receive, you got to just do your job. So Connor Shelton called for the hold. Now, normally they don't say the number, you don't always hear it, but now with the amplification of the referee, and this is going to be half the distance all the way back to the 9, and that's where the Tigers will have their second drive of the game start. Ball on the Valley 9. Both teams scored in possessions, but not in their first possession. Southeast Polk gave away points on an interception. Valley capitalized, and now Valley's trying to do it again. Lombardi gives it to Mason, who makes one guy, tries to do the shake and bake, but a little more bite there as Luke Board tackles Mason after about a loss of 5.
And a couple of Southeast Polk players getting up a little gingerly. Going to try and walk that off. It appeared as though Ben Rocha and Bo Ira said hello to each other.
Polk with the 4-down lineman, give it to Mason off left tackle, cuts it back on the counter, and he gets maybe up to the 10 before he is tackled by Cameron Bukite, and now Bukite goes out of the game. You trying to just get some running room here?
Yeah, just a little bit of space to ensure the possibility of a punt. Don't want to be standing on the end line of the goal if that should happen.
On 3rd down, Lombardi looks to pass, throws it far side, caught, 10, and tackled. Great open field play by, well, he's listed as Stonovic Gaby, but it's really Mark.
Well, Mark did a remarkable job coming up on that tackle. Not an easy receiver to bring down. And
Creighton Mitchell, right? Was it 9? Was it 10? Was it Jalen?
Looked like it was 10.
Jalen Long.
Jalen Long.
4th down, and the Tigers are going to have to punt. They get 5, or they get 6 on the play, but when you start in the hole like that, it's hard to get out of it. High snap. Lots of time on that punt by Connor Russo. Fair catch is made back inside the 50 by Nathaniel Flynn. And it'll be at the 49-yard line is where the Rams will have their 3rd possession of the game. No, that's actually at the Valley 49. So that is the best field position the Rams have had to start the game.
Although that last drive, it really didn't matter. It could have been 10 miles back.
That wasn't more of a drive. That was just more of a cruise. Starcevic in the gun, gives it to Williams. Williams extends the play, stretches it. That's what the Valley defense does, and making the tackle is the cornerback, Noah Samples, 6'1", 193.
And Brecken Cobb was trying to be there to give a little greeting as well. You know, it's a play that got stretched out, but still a solid 4-yard gain.
Yeah.
That just shows you the speed at which the skill players for Southeast Polk actually have.
Flynn out to the near side. Williams is next to Starcevic. Toss vertical pass. And Williams is going to go back to about the line of scrimmage before Victor Areola and Connor Shelton combine on that tackle. So you call it, since it's horizontal with the line, I said vertical. Horizontal, even with the line, is that considered a run when it's not?
Yes.
It's a run. and they're going to give him half a ball length, and I don't even know if that's accurate. Rams need to get to the 39. A little deeper backfield. Starshevich looks to pass, looks left, throws left, and it's tipped, and then falls to the turf. Getting a hand in there is Noah Samples, incomplete.
Noah Samples did a textbook job at coming up and making that play. Had his upfield hand around the body, came across with his left hand, knocked it away. If the pass would have been caught, he's still there to be able to make the tackle.
And it was up there for a long time,
It
so
was.
it just shows you how isolated the two teams were. Rams are going to punt. This will flip the field if it can be fielded at a decent position, and the fair catch is made. And that is Carson Shelton. 29, yeah. Tigers will have the football at their own 15-yard line. Valley scored on a play by Javon Mason, and Southeast Polk scored on a run by Shane Starcevich. That's how we got our 7-7 score, 8-13, first down and 10 for the Tigers. Bow throws, caught by Brown at the 20, and then he is dropped in a hurry. Austin Johnson, great open field tackle.
That was a nice route. Valley's looking at Southeast Polk playing a little bit back, playing a little softer with their defensive backs, getting a wide receiver out into the flats quickly. Nice 8-yard gain.
Brown having a little word with the referee there. Following that game, clock moving, second down and about 2. Gain of 8 on that play. Handoff Mason up the middle. He darts out, has the first down, still on his feet. He's out of bounds at the 30, and Big 75 and Big 80. They also go by the name of Jake Remsburg. And we're also seeing a guy not listed on the 2-deep, and that's, I thought it was 80. 60. How about that? Adam Klinker.
So, Paul, tell me about how you like the new jerseys. And that was also Trey Fugate, or if you're from Fort Dodge, Trey Fugati.
Fugati. Gain of 6. Mason somehow is going to cut back, turn what was a loss into an even bigger loss.
And that is such a tough thing to do as a competitor. You're not taken down. You know you're losing some ground. You're a good athlete. You have some good speed. You're an explosive kid. You want to do everything to get that gain back, but sometimes it turns out to be a little futile.
Loss of 9 goes back to the 20. Second and 19, under 7 to play. Lombardi looks to his right, then rolls. Buys time, goes it out deep, throws it out, open man! One-handed grab, nearly made, but incomplete. Off the hands of Luke Matney. You talked about him in the open, Keith, trying to get him into the mix, and he was close to making a circus tightrope catch on the sideline.
He was. A couple of things that kind of went wrong on that. Luke Matney kind of slowed down a little bit, but when you're that far from the line of scrimmage, you're wondering just how good your quarterback's arm is. And Bo spun that out to the sideline just a little bit too far.
I mean, there's a doubt about how strong a Lombardi's arm is.
I wouldn't think.
Third down, here comes Al before offside. Southeast or Valley better hope there was a penalty, because that play, it's encroachment called on Southeast Polk. The left end, and I believe it was Ira. He was absolutely coming. I believe that would be the hot guy.
And he was smoking hot on that. And Valley probably a little disappointed that the play was actually called, as the screen was set up beautifully.
4 receivers split out. Here comes the blitz again, Ira. They try to get it on that screen to Trey Fugate. It's incomplete. They tried to run the same play just to the other side, but boy, oh boy, Bo Ira was there. Like a good neighbor.
Or as Valley was kind of thinking there, as one of those neighbors that just never leaves.
Back deep for the Rams, Austin Johnson and Nate Flynn. In to kick for the Tigers, and getting it away is Connor Russo. Short kick bounce takes a southeast poke bounce of about 8 yards, and there's really nothing that Mason Mokricki could do about that one.
Not so much. And for Valley fans, last week, the craziest play, Paul, the craziest play, Fort Dodge punts the ball, it hits 15 yards beyond the line of scrimmage, rolls back, they said behind the line of scrimmage. The punter from Fort Dodge picks it up and runs it down for a 50-yard gain.
Oh. Okay.
I wasn't impressed.
You should be. I mean, even you have to respect a good play. In motion goes Flynn, and they go back up the middle on a quarterback keeper by Starcevich, and he gets up. They're going to put him back at the line of scrimmage. No gain.
Southeast Polk really doing a nice job using motion across the formation. Valley did a much better job on that, reading the ball where the ball ended up rather than just getting caught up in the motion.
That play really hurt Starcevich's average, Keith. Now, instead of 85 yards a carry, he's back down to 42.5.
Oof.
Handoff Williams. He's got more than 40 or more than no gain. He's up to the 30 near a first down. And they're already going to move the chains. Gain of 11 for Williams. He's pretty good.
He's very good and smooth. From here, I didn't notice him change speeds. I'm sure they noticed it down on the field, but it was just a very smooth acceleration. And he just split two defenders for Valley and then drugged them for a little while.
Williams goes to the left. To the right is Bell of Starcevich. They're in front of him. Handoff Williams. Bell's trying to seal it. Can't do it. And making the stop for the Tigers is Bracken Cobb. Bell was trying. It was 17 on 17. But still, Williams somehow gets 2.5 yards.
You know, that's a sign of a very good football player. When you put the football in their hands and they're met at the line of scrimmage and you fall down, you gain 2 yards. You know, sometimes people can get pushed backwards. Sometimes it's no gain. I haven't seen him fall laterally or backward yet.
Two receivers to the right, and that's where Starcevich is rolling. Sets, throws, that's too high. Throw near a still photographer at the 14. And it'll be incomplete and a third down.
All right, Paul, you see the guy standing out there. He's got a camera. Why would you throw it to him? He can't catch it. He's not going to drop his camera.
No. And he better not be putting his camera to break the football.
Well, right.
Just let that thing go. As Elsa would say,
let
it go. That'd be an Elsa. Do you cry that? Is that what you should? You should cry. You should have your guys call that on punts.
Elsa?
Elsa. Starcevich calls his own number on the draw, and he's still on his feet. 20, 15, down the end zone. Touchdown! Just like that. 3rd and 8 from the 28, and it's 6 points for the Rams.
A tough thing for a defense to do is have to account for a quarterback that throws well and runs well. You have everybody covered. You get everything correct downfield, and then all of a sudden, he just weaves in and out of traffic with his feet.
5 plays, 41 yards. The short field comes back to be in the Rams' favor. Coming on to kick the extra point is Luke Williams. It's through. Rams have the lead. This is CISN TV.
To get our mammograms. Kind of confusing. When this happens, I like to consult with experts. So I called Iowa Radiology. They recommend women get an annual mammogram starting at age 40. They know that it's the best way to detect cancers early and save lives. And that's good enough for me. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule your mammogram. Iowa Radiology, our focus is your good health.
They think they know what special means. At Godfather's Pizza, we do special, and we do it better. We add the T. There's a Godfather specialty pizza with your name on it. Classic combo, all meat combo, hot stuff, taco, yeah, even veggie and more. All of them piled high with the best toppings and 100% real cheese. Treat yourself special. Order specialty pizzas from Godfather's Pizza. The other guy.
Starcevich making it look easy tonight. 2 touchdown runs, 1 of 28, 1 of 85. Those are almost a palindrome.
Almost.
Almost. We had to look that up the other night at the dinner table. We were discussing palindromes, anagrams, kilograms.
You know, Paul, most people don't even eat at the table.
We try to, once or twice a week. It's tough. Nice kick by Williams. It's going to take it into the end zone, no return. It'll come back out and be 1st and 10 for the Tigers. We try, but I know that the moments that is going to happen are becoming fewer and fewer.
Mm-hmm.
You know how that is.
I do. And, I mean, Ben and Anna, they're 7 and 3, and it's fewer and fewer. Hey, you know what Anna's doing tomorrow? She's going to cheer camp.
Really?
She is. Valley Cheerleaders.
The Waukee cheer camp?
Nope.
Oh.
The Valley one.
Oh. Does she want to cheer for Valley?
Right now, she wants to do everything.
I'm sure she does. She wants to be like her dad.
Everything.
Lombardi turns around, hands it off to Mason. And I tell you what, I feel like I'm watching. It's like Southeast Polk is in the huddle for Valley right now. They are through the line so quick.
Mm-hmm.
It looks almost like Penn State against Iowa the other night.
Yes. They are doing a great job. Coach Swenson was very concerned early on, all week, about who's going to be able to control the line of scrimmage. And right now, Southeast Polk has shown that they are managing that responsibility very well.
Lombardi looks to pass, throws too high, incomplete. He was headed for Matney. So what do you do as an offense when the other team is stunting so hard and you're not having success? You must not be having success. Like Iowa the other night, they couldn't run the ball.
Right.
And they couldn't pass the ball.
Right.
And Penn State was just daring them. So what's Southeast Polk doing right here?
Well, right now, Southeast Polk is trying to force them to pass the ball. They have their defensive backs back, looking for those plays in front of them. And what Southeast Polk is able to do is they're coming down and covering the receiver very quickly because they're anticipating a short pass now.
And it's another incomplete. This one intended for Luke Matney. And just like that, the Tigers are facing a 4th down, but there is a penalty flag. And, you know, you're trying to throw. It's on the Tigers, and the Rams decline it. That ball was thrown at the 20. It was only going to be a 3-yard gain. You needed 13.
Yes, which is why you try to extend that as deep as you can, and then let your athleticism get the ball the rest of the way to the sticks. But it boils down to a timing issue, how much time Bo thinks he has to throw the ball versus how much space the defensive backs are actually given. Because the rush is coming.
Flynn takes the punt at the 48. The rush is coming. But again, for the 3rd straight drive, Keith, the Rams are starting in Tiger territory.
After a 3-and-out.
Yeah. So Valley has punted on their last 2 possessions. Actually, they have punted on their last 3 possessions after scoring the touchdown. 3 straight punts. Southeast Polk has the football. 1st down. Starcevich, they're going for broke down the right sideline. Man's open, caught! Inside the 10 to the 3-yard line. Boom! Just like that. Jackson Snyder plucks it out of the night sky, and it's 1st and goal for the Rams. Wow.
A beautiful play, and they have been setting up that deep ball by sending their guys in motion. You're anticipating Williams to get the ball, Starcevich to run the ball. You kind of forget that those receivers can travel downfield well as well.
And now Starcevich will go under center. I formation behind him. Williams gets the call. Up the gut, he's stuck. Getting there first for Valley. First and the first shall be last. Jacob McCudden, the junior defensive lineman, 6'2", 283. He knew Williams was getting the ball.
Yes.
No gain.
Josiah Rowland did a great job opening up that left-hand side. The problem, they ran to the right.
It always looks so much better. They'll look at that one in film. Different look formation. Williams is now about 8 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Toss sweep left side, giving Williams some space. Cuts it back in, but he has stood up and knocked out of bounds. That was an open field play of beauty by John Shaner.
John Shaner has very good speed. He's a 49-second quarter miler for Valley. Did a great job coming up and stretching that play very wide. There wasn't a tackle. He was just able to drive him out of bounds.
Well, and that's something that you got to do on a guy like Williams. You got to
right.
you got to drag him out and hope that your friends can join you. 2:26 to play. 3rd and goal from the 8. Starcevich rolls to the right. Lots of time. Looks to throw back to the left, and it's incomplete. He was trying to get to Scott Bell, his fullback, and it's incomplete. And the Tigers have to consider that a victory to prevent them a touchdown and at least an attempt at a field goal.
Yes, as good a goal line stand as I have seen this year. In fact, where they move him back 6 yards, 7 yards?
Yeah, and it'll be now a 25-yard field goal attempt for Luke Williams. The kick is away, and it's good. Polk opens up 17-7 lead. This is CISN TV.
Stronger, faster, healthier. You want more. You want to be part of something bigger than yourself. A place for people of all ages, all walks of life, that provides opportunities for all to succeed. We do that. We're the why. Build more than muscle. Build a stronger community. You want to get stronger.
When people visit the Lodge of Ashworth, they fall in love with our grounds. They're impressed with our dining room, but it is our spacious 2- and 3-bedroom suites that attract the most attention. With bay windows, full kitchens, large walk-in closets, and modern appliances, the Lodge feels like home. We have suites move-in ready, or we will help you customize. Create a home office, media room, or bedroom for visiting friends or family. Call us today for a private tour and ask about our flexible pricing plans.
25-yard field goal by Luke Williams caps a 5-play, 48-yard drive. Southeast Polk has started 3 times inside the Valley 50 and come away with 10 points. That kick is going to be returned. Tariq, no, that's, better get his name in a hurry because Trey Fugate was 1 tackle away from a touchdown, a return of 35 yards for Trey Fugate. Trey Fugate. That's a good one.
Yeah. I don't know how many of his buddies are going to let that lie, but this coach isn't.
Do you see? You didn't even have Trey that long, did you? When he was a freshman? He wasn't with you very long, was he? Didn't he go like pretty quickly to...
Yeah, he was there almost a day.
And you just ran him off.
That's right.
Into the arms of the sophomores. 1st down and 10. A best starting position in quite some time for the Tigers. Lombardi in the shotgun. Gives it to Mason, who's just stood up and gone nowhere. making the tackle for Southeast Polk is Mason Morgan. And I got to say, who made the tackle on that touchdown saving tackle was Dylan Travis for the Rams on that last play. Got to give that out.
One of the things that Valley really needs to get going here, that offensive line has got to stay on that first threat block. They're moving downfield okay, but they're getting off that block. Southeast Polk is controlling that line.
Now, Bo turned around, handed it to Mason, and it was kind of like they thought the play had been whistled dead. Stop made all the way back at the 30, loss of 5. And there's some confusion right now on that Tiger offense.
There is a little bit of confusion, and Valley very fortunate that Bo actually handed off to Mason. The Southeast Polk linebacker was right there too.
3rd down and a long way to go. 15. Lombardi tucks it, runs. Has some room at the 40, gets a block, 45, goes airborne near the 1st down. In fact, he's got it.
Nice job by Bo Lombardi identifying the gap in the defense there. Downfield very well. Didn't realize that he was a hurdler like his brother.
Well, I'm sure we'll see his brother on the sideline tomorrow, as there is a down Tiger back at the 41. Rocky and the Michigan State Spartans entertaining the Iowa Hawkeyes tomorrow at 3. Up slow for the Tigers is Jalen Long. Maybe it's the quarterback. Maybe you just got to run Lombardi a little more. And,
Well-
you know, sometimes when you're keen on one guy, again, back to Iowa, kind of thought maybe Nate Stanley needed to run the ball last Saturday once just to kind of keep him honest.
Yes, and it's not that Bo is slow, but he isn't the fastest guy either.
Jalen Long getting a little help, and I don't know if that's a shoulder. He's got his head down, hasn't really looked up.
Yes, initial looks doesn't look great.
Not on his own power. He'll take the bench. Gain of 17 for the Tigers. 1st and 10 from their own 47. Trying to get back into Southeast Polk territory. Mason takes it. Cross midfield, 50, 45, 40. Still on his feet. Makes a guy. Wow! Delivers a pop. Holy buckets, he drilled Willie Peck.
You know, Southeast Polk has a tremendous back in their backfield. I really think that Javon Mason is one of the better running backs that has come through Valley. And that's saying something because Valley's had some unbelievable running back talent. And the one thing that sets Javon apart from his brother is the fact that he can deliver that blow.
Play action. Bo's going to roll, throw, hit as he throws downfield. Too tall. Into double coverage. Thrown at Tariq Brown, and there is a penalty flag where the play where the ball was thrown.
Maybe a little bit of contact.
Well, it was a tall pass. I tell you, the receiver did it.
There's always that question that comes into play, is it uncatchable? But I'm not sure that there is an uncatchable in high school.
There isn't. Mark Gabay whistled for the infraction, and it'll go up to the 24-yard line. So a 15-yard penalty. Valley will have it. 6th play of the drive here at the 24 with 18.1 seconds. 1st and 10. Lombardi in the gun. Looks left, goes back to his right, and it's caught. And then out of bounds. Caught by Ryan New.
And again, those defensive backs for Southeast Polk, they're in that situation where the 5-yard pass is there. And if Valley continues to do that and just kind of chip away at it, you know, they'll be able to move that ball. The problem, as Coach Swenson has talked about all year, is when you get into a long, sustained drive, at some point, mistakes usually come up.
Well, and if anything, you're right now giving your defense a break.
Yes.
Bo's going to roll. Throw towards the end zone. Caught. Touchdown. Tariq Brown.
A little bit of laundry on the near side. We'll see what that's all about.
For now, it's a 16-yard touchdown pass. I don't think it's going to hold. The body language of the near side receiver. Yeah, that'll gray what hair is left or remove what's already gray.
Yeah. The only thing worse than getting into a game, a big game, and getting beat on some plays here, a quarter here, maybe overall in the game as well, the only thing worse than that is beating yourself.
Yeah, and you've seen back-to-back penalties, one on each team, and both costly penalties. Mason fakes right, goes right back up the middle, and Al Durr makes the stop for the Rams. Gain of about 5, and that is going to be the end of the arguably one of the longest first quarters.
Was that
of the
40
season.
minutes?
Yeah, I think that was the first 3 quarters. Quarter number 2 when we come back. This is Valley and Southeast Polk on CISN.TV.
Great experience. That's what people expect today. What isn't expected is how hard we work after the sale to keep your business. Hard work, honesty, integrity, discipline, trust, character. These core values are why we grow every year and why we continue to acquire more dealerships. Experience the Schottenkirk way of doing business and come visit our new Ford dealership in Indianola. Great price.
And here, we don't just dream of a better tomorrow, of a smarter way to do business or live, of perseverance and progress. We inspire it in others. We challenge the conventional, reimagine what it means to be better, and then dare ourselves to make it great. This is Iowa, and here, we don't just dream, we make history.
At the end of one quarter, it is Southeast Polk 17, Valley 7. Paul Yeager alongside the ever-charming Keith Bornas.
Thank you, Paul.
No, oh, that's your name? I didn't mean that. All right, first quarter took a long time, but the Tigers trying to score here on third down. Throw it, far sideline, caught at the 11 by Matney. Or that's Ryan New. And he has enough for the first down. It is up to the 12-yard line. Gain of 7.
Gain of 7. 5 and 7 yard pass plays are great as long as Polk is going to stay back with their corners that far.
So the ball's up to the 12 of Southeast Polk. This drive started back at the Valley 35 after that great kickoff return. Brown goes in motion. Little jet confusion. Mason is collared in a hurry by Tanner Van Elsen. And again, that over pursuit by the Rams is paying off.
I'm not sure if I've ever seen anybody go down that fast. His feet were in the air very shortly after he took the ball. And now the problem is going to be for Valley, those 5 and 6 and 7 yard plays, it's a short field now.
Yeah.
That 5 and 6 yards kind of disappears quickly.
Second and goal, or second and 11, and Mason's almost tackled, is he? And the ball comes out, and it's going to be Southeast Polk football. Coming out of the scrum is Mason Morgan. And again, the defender was there as Mason took the handoff. So clearly there is something that Southeast Polk saw.
Well, right now it's just that bull rush that they have going on. They're trying to reestablish the line of scrimmage 2 yards deep into Valley's backfield, and they're doing it.
And right up the gut, trying to run and going nowhere that's the quarterback.
The fumbled snap on the play kind of slowed everything down just a little bit.
Loss of 2. Is that what happened?
There was just a little bit of a snafu.
Ball's at the Southeast Polk 13. This is their worst field position they've had since early in the first quarter. Fake to Williams, go across, and the pop pass tipped. Intercepted and then dropped.
Oh.
Nearly having his second pick of the night, Victor Areola. He had it for a moment, and the moment is gone.
Now, here is one of the things that becomes very deflating. Valley's had 2 back-to-back plays here that have been positive in their favor. It's 3rd and 12, but Southeast Polk is a big play offense. We've seen that. So big plays here is what are killers on 3rd down.
Starcevich to roll. Clearly the linemen think it's a screen, and it was. In fact, the first defensive lineman that got to Starcevich, wait a minute, that was way too easy.
Yes.
And he stopped and backpedaled, and then Starcevich just threw it at the feet of Williams, so only the turf monster could catch it.
A wonderful job by the Valley defense, having 3 solid defensive plays in a row, identifying the screen pass and getting back into the passing lane.
Southeast Polk punt is New is going to take a fair catch at the 48 on his side of the field. And this is one of the best starting field positions that Valley has had in this game. They're going to rack up some stats. Now they just need to figure out a way to get some points. 9:54 to play, second quarter. Southeast Polk 17, Valley 7 here in this district matchup. I thought we'd have a good one. So far, as good as advertised.
But I also think they thought it was going to be more high scoring as everything went.
We were headed there early. 2 receivers to the left and right. Mason, the only one in the backfield. New goes in motion. Fake the jet. No, give the jet sweep to New. And then he is tackled. Again, just a quick wrestling-like move by Mason Morgan.
Yes, very nice hip toss.
New gets
Take down
2 to the 50.
Looking for some back points.
Got to ride this one out a little bit. 9:28. This clock is actually moving now. And I'm looking for Jalen Long on the sideline, and I haven't seen him yet. Lombardi back to pass. Looks left, throws downfield. Caught! Tariq Brown at the 20, 15, and then wrestled down inside the 10. Tackle made, T.J. Armstrong. A touchdown saving tackle at the 11-yard line. Big play for the Tigers.
That pass could not have been thrown any more perfectly. Tariq Brown breaks into the open, but there's 2 defenders that are closing down on him, and that ball split both of them.
Gain of 39 yards on the play. Actually, they're going to put that ball all the way back at the 12, so make it a 38-yard pickup for Tariq Brown. He had a touchdown earlier in this game, called back on a penalty. Mason gets the handoff. And maybe that's kind of the why Mason is not running straight ahead. Kind of because he sees that it's not there. He just has to get past that initial push, and he can maybe get a yard.
Mm-hmm. You got that right, Paul.
We're trying. 2nd and 9 from for the Tigers. Throwing it to the out pylon, and the out was there for Luke Matney, except he didn't have 9-foot arms. It'll be 3rd and 9.
Southeast Polk really has controlled the tempo of the game, and man, just get a look at those 4 defensive linemen there. They are some large lads.
Lombardi sends it in motion. He's got 2 guys. He's going to have to get one of them to set. Timeout, Tigers. And we'll step away as well at the 8:11 mark here at Valley Stadium.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
It's about trust. Whether I'm buying a car, hiring a contractor, finding a tax preparer, or an honest mechanic, the Better Business Bureau seal means this business meets high standards. When I see the seal, I know I'll get what I pay for. No more taking chances and no more worries. And I feel good about supporting local businesses. My life is so much easier knowing I can always trust BBB accredited businesses. It pays to look for the seal. See for yourself at bbb.org/Iowa.
8:11 to play. Big 3rd down and 9 coming for the Tigers. After the timeout, Lombardi rolls, throws to the right, caught, held on at the 5, and that's going to be short of the 1st down. 4th and about 3. What do you do?
Gary's usually one of those guys that's just going to try and get points on the board. He's been in the business for a few years, and over the course of those years, he's a proven winner. He knows what's worked for him. He's a guy that when you're close, get your points on the board.
Gain of 6, not enough. We'll set up the field goal attempt. Oh, fumble. Here comes the fire drill, and there's going to be no points. The snap was not well received, and the hold never really got. Langston Samples really had no chance there. And so now the Tigers come up empty on 2 trips inside the 20. And that is the kind of thing that really can haunt you late in the game.
Yes. That's not really how it was drawn up. So, yes. Now the question in your mind, all right, we could have done that on 4th down on a run play.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Valley will have bring their defense out. Southeast Polk starts at the 13. Starcevich keeps it on the option play. Coach Z thinking, hey, I got a hot hand here. I'm going to ride that one. And that could also be one of those lull you to sleep. I'm still going to give it back to Williams here. No gain on the play.
And after a huge stop like that, usually you have a tendency to start looking for that big play right away. Try and shove the dagger in just a little bit more.
It could come this way. Trips to the near side. Starcevich rolls, and he is sacked. Just almost too easy for Logan Krausman.
Krausman did a nice job of setting the edge and trying to force things back in. And, all season long we talk about those defensive ends have to set the edge so that you're either, one of two things is going to happen. You're either going to force it wide and stretch the play out, or it's going to turn back up into, hopefully, a whole bunch of defenders. In that case, not only did Krausman do a great job setting the edge, he was also able to come off the block and make the tackle.
Polk's going to take a timeout at 6:07. So will we. This is CISN.TV.
I opened the hearing clinic to offer patients and their families a positive healthcare experience. If you have trouble hearing clearly at church, at the movies, watching TV, or with your friends and family in a group conversation, what are you waiting for? In less than half an hour, we can give you peace of mind and answer any questions that you may have. Call us today to schedule your appointment. The Hearing Clinic, 515-440-3323. We listen, you hear.
Hi, Ron here, head coach of Westside Auto Pros. When your car's on the injured reserve, you want to get it back in the game as soon as possible. I know that. That's why you need to bring it here to Westside Auto Pros. I have a team of experts that can fix almost every automotive injury. Whether it's a fractured joint, a brake, or if your car just got its bell rung, no problem. We can even do a complete physical on your car to make sure it's game ready for the entire season. So bring your car to Westside Auto Pros and we'll get it back in the starting lineup in no time. Hey, you guys are dogging it back here. Let's move it, move it, move it.
Third down for the Rams. Going for broke down the middle. Got it to the 30. First down. Catch made. Nate Flynn gets the Rams out of the hole. Gain of 18.
The coverage by John Shaner was very good. It's just that Southeast Polk did such a great job of fronting the ball, and he was able to kind of wall off the defensive back to where he didn't have a chance to make a play at it.
Gain of 19 in motion. Starcevich keeps it. Spun once, tackled low and high. 56 and 88. You'd also know them as Logan Castle and Logan Krausman.
Tackled by number 56, Logan Castle.
Starcevich has run 3 of these plays, gained 2 on that. Ball up to the 34, 2nd and 8, 5:14 to play here before half. Williams is tackled way behind the line. Again, Logan Krausman. And Williams didn't look like he wanted the football right there.
No, there was some uncertainty as Krausman was able to move upfield and keep the play stretched out.
6th play of the drive upcoming here, 3rd and 12 from the 30. Rams need to get to the 42. Starcevich has Williams next to him. Shane looks, lots of time, Logan's coming, and he's gonna get. Boy, this, I don't know if anybody else needs to play if Logan Krausman keeps playing like that.
3 in a row, all for losses. He looked like he was All-State.
And that one goes all the way back to the 19. It's a loss of 11. Krausman. And the punt is taken back at the 45, fair catch. I think he put his hands up to get the football. I didn't actually see him throw his hands up to get it, but that's a great punt. And that actually is going to save a little face there for the Rams, and they'll put the Tigers back to the 35-yard line.
The Tigers will begin now at their own 35.
3:46, you're going into halftime. You'd like to get a nice, some positive yards. Naturally, you'd like to get a score. Big play would generate some more energy, but a nice drive would do the same thing. Gain a little momentum going into half.
Bo in the gun. Mason next to him. Pass. Caught. No chance for a gain. Tariq Brown had to go to his knees to get it. Gain of 8. Getting credit for the tackle, Luke Board, but he didn't do anything. Sorry, Luke. Calling it as I see it.
Well, the 0 in the 40 actually had the play on that.
Whoops. That's at the 43. Gain of 8. 2nd and 2. Lombardi throws across the middle, and he was trying to hit the 4 on the other side of the field.
Yeah.
There were 4 white jerseys around. They're incomplete.
And that's going to be one of those things that they look on film, and they'll talk about what were you looking at as you were going through this thing? Where were your checks before you made a decision on where to throw the ball? As you had Mason wide open right across the first down marker.
Well, 2nd and short turns into 3rd and short. 3rd and 2 from the 43. Misdirection. Brown has it. First down across midfield. Tariq Brown, 40, 35. Toe dancing down the sideline. Almost disco dancing down the sideline. To reference the old Mike Newell line. Ball up to the 34-yard line inside to the Southeast Polk 34.
A very good play call there by Coach Swenson, as you've had the corners playing. Southeast Polk has had their corners playing back all night. Hit that little bubble screen and let your athletes try and move the ball upfield.
23-yard gain. They go almost the exact same play, this time for Langston Samples, and that's incomplete.
Trying to do that almost like a tunnel screen on that. Samples in position. Ball just got away from him.
Polk one of their goals was to try to stop Javon Mason. They've kept him in check after that first run. Now they're just trying to bottle everybody else up and prevent big plays. Big play coming here, 2nd and 10, 3 minutes in the second quarter. Lombardi, 2 seconds, 1, they take timeout. We'll step away. Southeast Polk 17, Valley 7.
Moms typically get to make a majority of the healthcare decisions for their family. That can be a lot of pressure, but not for me, because I know the choice is ours. For medical tests like MRIs, X-rays, CAT scans, and of course mammograms, ask your doctor to refer you to Iowa Radiology. They work around our hectic schedules. They're the best at what they do, and they're so great with my family. They truly care, and it shows. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule an appointment. Iowa Radiology. Our focus is your good health.
Miss your hometown clothing store? The one that had it all? Everything to get the work done, all in one place? G&L Clothing is your hometown Iowa store. Stop in and see us. Or we're only a click or phone call away. Family owned for nearly a century. G&L Clothing. 1801 Ingersoll, Des Moines.
G&L Clothing. Your size, your style, we've got it all.
Bo throws, catch made by Luke Matney on 2nd and 10, and that's enough for a Tiger first down.
And that's one of those pass plays that, we talked about earlier, and you said, it was 3rd and 13, they throw a 5-yard out. And on this, it was, 2nd and 10, throw the 5-yard out and try and let your athletes do the rest of the work for you, which is the premise behind those quick outs.
Handoff Mason. He gets up the middle, gets through into the secondary before he's tackled. Boy, just like that, that play was there on that run right up the middle. Josh Wade makes the stop of Mason.
And this is where one of those things for Coach Cochran and Coach Swenson, they're trying to figure out what the best combination of linemen is going to be in there. Some plays it looks like they could open up the Red Sea, and other days it's tough sledding everywhere.
And they're going to go Mason again. He's trying to get to the outside, holding his blocks. 5, 4, 3. Mason out at the 3, gain of 5. Well, but those runs were there because the passes have been there. And, the old traditional coach will tell you that you have to run in order to pass, but now it's teams pass in order to run. Bo looks to the sideline to see if he gets the check off right. Mason next to him. Handoff Javon. Close, but short by about a half a yard. He'll gain 2 on the play.
And in that case right there, where you got a back that is that close to crossing the goal line, you have to have just a total offensive surge in the last moments to see if you can just push him across the line.
3rd and goal from the 1. Lombardi keeps it off left center, and he's in there for a touchdown. Lombardi gets the Tigers back within a possession. Bo knows how to find the end zone. 9-play drive. Started back on the 35-yard line, a 65-yard drive. Capped on a touchdown. There is a penalty on the kick. Who's that or what's that? Who's that or what's that?
We have been infiltrated by a couple of hooligans.
Do you want me to call security?
Well,
Rose is
I'm
coming
not
up.
100% sure what we need to do here, but Ben
here.
Ben is all over the microphone, and Anna's trying to push me off the chair.
I think those binoculars are bigger than Ben.
Yeah, he'll get it figured out.
You can't see. We'll point him down there. After the penalty, it's no good. Wide left. Valley holds now a 4-point deficit. The Rams lead. We're back after this.
Many times at the Lodge of Ashworth, new members come to us from their big, beautiful homes. They find our spacious 2- and 3-bedroom suites to be an ideal fit. We have a limited number of these larger and penthouse-style suites, perfect for the retiring executive style living. We have suites ready for immediate move-in, or we can help you customize. The Lodge of Ashworth is all-inclusive, no surprise additional fees or upcharges. Call us today for a private tour and ask us about our flexible pricing plans.
Every month or so, there's another story in the media about when and how often we need to get our mammograms. Kind of confusing. When this happens, I like to consult with experts. So I called Iowa Radiology. They recommend women get an annual mammogram starting at age 40. They know that it's the best way to detect cancers early and save lives. And that's good enough for me. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule your mammogram. Iowa Radiology, our focus is your good health.
The kick was taken by Gavin Williams, and then it went into the end zone. What on earth happened on that play, Anna?
I don't know.
Well, he's got to catch the ball and then run out. You're not supposed to go backwards, are you?
No.
Huh. All right, so what, minute 49 to play before half. What do the Tigers need to do on defense here? Do they go to prevent?
Go to prevent and get the ball back.
Go to prevent and try to get the ball back at a minute 49. Paul Yeager, Anna Ben Bornis. Thank goodness we got rid of your dad, you know. we've got some talent here for once. 1st and 10 from the 20 of Southeast Polk. The give is to Nate Flynn, and Flynn gets up maybe 4 yards.
Carried on the play by number 6, Nathaniel Flynn.
Nate Flynn, his dad is a principal. Now he's up at Ames. He's been in the Southeast Polk District, but he's now up at Ames. So, Anna, the only thing you can't do is touch that. Because then all I hear is clunk, 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 clunk. That's the only thing. So what else do you think here? Minute 17. I need my glasses back. Pass is caught by Flynn again. It's a first down. That'll stop the clock at a minute 9. Up to the 34-yard line. That's a nice play. Gain of 10.
Tackled by number 20, Victor
Areola the tackle. Southeast Polk going with the hurry up at the 34. Starcevich keeps it, and then he's trying to get outside, get out of bounds. He does.
Carried by Shane Starcevich.
What do you think of that Shane Starcevich?
30, Joe Relman. Also on the tackle. 34.
You can do.
It was a nice job setting the edge by the Valley defense. And Starcevich, he is a very good runner. Valley did a nice job getting the stop on that play.
54 seconds, Anna, before half. Polk is still a long way from attempting a field goal. They still have 2 timeouts to work with. Starcevich looks to the left, thinks about running. Here comes some pressure, getting it away at the last possible moment before Jacob McCudden. He's well outside the tackles there, so that's not intentional grounding, but it is 3rd down.
Well, Paul, the infiltration has been subdued.
Didn't have much to say. I didn't mean to talk over her all the time.
Well, you know, she gets a lot of football at home. She doesn't need it every night.
Williams gets the handle off the left side, gets to the outside, and he's close to a first down. I think he's got it up to the 46-yard line. Clock stops, 41 seconds. Move the chains.
He is a dynamic back and does a great job with the ball in his hands. He can find holes, he can stretch plays, he can make plays. Really a lot of fun to watch. And so when Southeast Polk is keeping the ball into Starcevich's hands, that says a lot about their quarterback as well.
The Rams are 55 yards from scoring. They just need to get them 10 yards at a time, and that's what they do. Pass completion. Up ahead, Flynn makes the grab again. And a gain of 11 up to the 44. But into Valley territory, clock moving, 30 seconds. Starcevich calls his own number on the draw. He is wrapped up in the middle, but he still gets 3 yards. Timeout coming from the Rams. They're absolutely moving the football, just taking what's there at that moment. They'll put it back to 22.1 seconds. You got lots of time. You got sidelines. You got a timeout. Are you thinking 6 or 3 here?
I'm still thinking 6. You have the athletes to do it. Valley is still, they're now backed off, and so all of the underneath plays are available. You have the speed that if you catch something in the middle, you can still get to the sideline and get out of bounds. I think you're still thinking 6.
Waukee leads Sioux City East 35-34 at half, and we thought we had the fun game. Dar's got a good one over there.
Wow.
Sioux City East and Waukee. Other games tonight, Des Moines East at Sioux City North, Roosevelt at Johnston, Centennial at Council Bluffs Abe Lincoln, and Downey Catholic is at Lincoln.
Hey, Paul.
Hey, Keith.
Guess who is watching tonight? Bodie Dibbett is watching the game tonight.
Hello, Bodie. From where?
He's a Valley guy.
Starcevich throws, caught by Williams out of the backfield, and he steps out of bounds at the 31-yard line. Enough for a first down. Gain of 9. And all of a sudden, it's like, hey, remember this Williams guy we got? He's pretty good. We should maybe throw him the ball.
And throw him the ball in open space, if you will. That's kind of dangerous.
16.9. First and 10 from the 31. Starcevich, pressure, throws incomplete. He was headed for Austin Johnson. A couple of seconds go off the clock, 14 to play before half.
Still one timeout left. Don't really have to change your game plan here at all. You get a good down here on second down. Still looking at 6.
And you don't necessarily have to go to the sideline.
Right.
Still with that timeout. Starcevich from the left hash. Fakes it Williams, takes it himself. And he's tripped up once. Stays in bounds. Good defense by Valley. Connor Shelton to keep him in bounds, and that will force Southeast Polk to take a timeout with 6.6. Now, things are a whole lot different. You're at the 25, 35, 42-yard field goal right now. That's kind of long.
It is kind of long. And you're from a hash mark as well.
And they're going to give it 8.1, so if that changes your strategy, that's 2 plays now.
Potentially, but it has to be to the sideline now.
Because you're out of timeouts.
Williams is coming out to set the tee down, so Well, it looked like he was setting the tee down. I don't know if he went out to pick it up or
Boy,
come out.
8.1. Do you change your? Do you take one shot at the end zone?
I don't know. They're setting up here for a field goal.
It's going to be a long one.
42 yards from the left hash.
From the left hash. Setting up as Luke Williams with 8.1 seconds to go. Out of the hole to Starcevic. The snap, the kick is up. It's long enough. No good. Left to the left. Boy, that had some ups to it.
A stoppage of play.
Doesn't matter. Running into the kicker on Valley.
Paul, the 3 rules to the kicking game. Do you remember?
Don't do that.
Jimmy?
Don't run into the kicker. Automatic first, but it's only 2.1 seconds. I would imagine you just try to kick again.
Kick it again.
That's what Polk's going to try to do. This time, it moves up. The ball will be snapped at the 20, put down at the 27. So it's a 37-yard field goal attempt. This time, the kick is up, and it's even higher than the last one, and this one is good. 37-yard field goal. 37-yard field goal. Luke Williams, you go for no points to 3 points, a 6-point swing. Just like that. Well, not really 6 because Valley wasn't going to score,
Right.
but a 3-point on the board. But, well, you could say 6 because of you missed the field goal earlier in that game. So 37-yard field goal puts the halftime score 20-13. When we come back, we have an absolutely jam-packed halftime. We'll talk with Brad Rose, Brad Windhorst, and Dr. Tim Vineyard. When we come back, it's halftime, Southeast Polk and Valley, here at Valley Stadium.
They think they know what special means. At Godfather's Pizza, we do special, and we do it better. We add the T. There's a Godfather specialty pizza with your name on it. Classic combo, all meat combo, hot stuff, taco, yeah, even veggie and more. All of them piled high with the best toppings and 100% real cheese. Treat yourself special. Order specialty pizzas from Godfather's Pizza. The other guys,
Faster, healthier. You want more. You want to be part of something bigger than yourself. A place for people of all ages, all walks of life, that provides opportunities for all to succeed. We do that. We're the why. Build more than muscle. Build a stronger community. You want to get...
When people visit the Lodge of Ashworth, they fall in love with our grounds. They're impressed with our dining room, but it is our spacious 2- and 3-bedroom suites that attract the most attention. With bay windows, full kitchens, large walk-in closets, and modern appliances, the Lodge feels like home. We have suites move-in ready, or we will help you customize. Create a home office, media room, or bedroom for visiting friends or family. Call us today for a private tour and ask about our flexible pricing plans.
Great selection, great experience. That's what people expect today. What isn't expected is how hard we work after the sale to keep your business. Hard work, honesty, integrity, discipline, trust, character. These core values are why we grow every year and why we continue to acquire more dealerships. Experience the Schottenkirk way of doing business and come visit our new Ford dealership in Indianola. Great price.
Back here at halftime, Paul Yeager and Brad Rose, activities director here at Valley. And for the Tigers, you leave a few points on the field.
Yeah, we've had, touchdown called back because of penalty, and then we ended up fumbling on that and getting nothing out of it. Probably would have got at least 3, and then we had a field goal, or an extra point taken off the board, and we missed it, and then we roughed the kicker on a field goal and give them a second chance, and they get 3 more, and that just, next thing you know, you're digging out of a hole. So
missed extra point, missed field goal. So, yeah, that's the kind of thing that happens. But we're smack dab near the last day of September. Hard to believe. We get into October and things get real for postseason all of a sudden.
Yeah, first night of divisional play here, and that's important. Get after it here and see what we can do. Or second night, I guess. Played Fort Dodge last week, so this is the number 1, number 2 matchup in our division. So it's a big game. I mean, we came out and scored pretty easy on them. I think maybe took a little gas off the pedal there a little bit, and maybe thought it was going to be easier than we thought. And they came out, and their quarterback's really been handy. Coach's kid really been handy, running the ball, run the option. Nice plays.
I would think Coach Zelenovic would love to have the yet another Starcevic. This is the third, and this one maybe not quite as good as Kyle, but he's still only a junior. He's still got, or he is a senior, but he is still a good player. What else you got going on at Valley?
Oh, we got all kinds of things. Had a debate tournament last weekend. You know, we volleyball teams playing really well. They've beaten Centennial the other day, and they'll be in the tournament this weekend. So they're ranked in the top 5. Golf teams playing well. We got Valley Fest coming up next weekend here. After our game with Indianola on Saturday, they'll have Valley Fest, which is an awesome band competition that's been going on for years and years.
Yep.
And we'll have 10,000 people here over the course of the day. And just a lot of stuff going on,
So that's tomorrow or next week?
Next week.
Yeah, next week. I was going to say, I thought it was the first part of October.
Senior night
Yeah.
next Friday night here with Indianola. And we have senior night for volleyball on Tuesday. I know the play. I talked last week about the play. Sweeney Todd. I got to stop down there at nights and see those kids. Show choirs getting ready. We've got an orchestra concert and band concerts coming up the next 2 weeks in October. So parent-teacher conferences coming up next week. Everything's starting to October. Things start hitting.
Have you been home yet at all this week? Or?
Yeah, there's a lot of nights. I just dragged the kids with me. But we got the parent-teacher conference come up. Then we start our band, orchestra, all that stuff. All their performances start coming up in October. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Well, baseball's over. We don't have to worry about that anymore.
I know.
That was done 2 weeks ago when the Cards lost to the Cubs in Chicago and got swept. I'm like, this season's over no matter what happens.
They won 9 in a row, and I was like, oh, they're pretty tough. And then last night getting beat by their JV team was not good. So
it's a team we saw all summer in Des Moines.
Yeah, exactly.
Seeing Taylor Davis play third base was always kind of fun. But so that's over. But so Valley Fest, all sorts of stuff. Volleyball's had some good matches. Golf is getting close here too, isn't it?
Yep, they're in the top 3 or 4 every. They're in the top 4 running. They'll have a tough district though. Next week, it's really competitive right now, but I think I got a lot of confidence in our kids and the way they're playing, and things are just it's just the fall and things are rolling along. We just seems like every week we're busy. Girls swimming. We hosted a Tiger Tanker last Saturday and had 6 or 7 really good teams in. They'll get ready for conference here in the next 2 weeks, and then regionals, and we'll get rolling. Their state meet will be at the end of November. October will go faster than you think.
It will.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden we'll be talking wrestling and basketball and all sorts of stuff like that.
Be talking that here pretty soon, sounds like, with Coach
Right.
Windhorst.
We're going to be talking basketball in just a little bit, so we'll let you go because I know you have a busy game nights always, or something's always going on.
Yeah, a little shout out tonight. We had Crestview night tonight. We bust some kids over and their families from Crestview. We have junior high band night, and we have little kids football league night tonight. I just really appreciate all of our community and the way everybody's coming out and really supporting the Tigers in our community. So thank you.
All right, Brad, thank you so very much for stopping up. Good to see you as always.
Have
a
great
good night. We'll be back. You know what we're going to do here is we're going to let him put that down and go. It's like he's never done it before. Let's listen. Can we listen to the band, Jimmy? Do we have that? We cannot. All right, we'll step away and be right back with head coach of the boys basketball team, Brad Windhorst, right after this on CISN TV.
This is Iowa. And here, we don't just dream of a better tomorrow, of a smarter way to do business or live, of perseverance and progress. We inspire it in others. We challenge the conventional, reimagine what it means to be better, and then dare ourselves to make it great. This is Iowa. And here, we don't just dream, we make history. This is Iowa.
To everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields. Here's to
Seal, it's about trust. Whether I'm buying a car, hiring a contractor, finding a tax preparer, or an honest mechanic, the Better Business Bureau seal means this business meets high standards. When I see the seal, I know I'll get what I pay for. No more taking chances and no more worries. And I feel good about supporting local businesses. My life is so much easier knowing I can always trust BBB accredited businesses. It pays to look for the seal. See for yourself at bbb.org/Iowa. Why do I look for?
I opened the hearing clinic to offer patients and their families a positive healthcare experience. If you have trouble hearing clearly at church, at the movies, watching TV, or with your friends and family in a group conversation, what are you waiting for? In less than half an hour, we can give you peace of mind and answer any questions that you may have. Call us today to schedule your appointment. The Hearing Clinic, 515-440-3323. We listen, you hear.
Back at halftime, head boys basketball coach B.J. Windhorst. Good to have you here, Coach.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, basketball season, it's hard to believe. I mean, we've been talking basketball this week, but for the wrong reasons.
Right.
But everybody's starting to think because once October happens, it gets pretty real pretty quick. That's on the college side. But for you, it goes on not year-round, but darn close.
Yeah, pretty much does year-round, especially at our level. But I always say once that first football game hits, it seems like basketball season's here before you know it. I mean, already here we blinking. When was this, week 6 of football?
Yeah.
So it comes quick. We're less than a little over a month out of official practice.
So what do you do mostly in the month of October? What can you do?
Well, September and October, just be prep, a lot of lifting, conditioning, get the kids in the gym a couple nights a week, let them play. We kind of ramp that up as we get into October and kind of start working it right into practice, so things start getting a little harder towards the end of October and do a little more. A little light at the beginning of September and just kind of start working our way through September into October and get ready for the season.
You can have unofficial workouts, supervised, and then you can finally have official contact in November.
Right. And we can do anything with them without a basketball before November 13th. So, supervised open gyms, but like lifting, conditioning, that kind of stuff, we can do about whatever we want with them.
Well, you got a couple of holes to fill. You had some pretty good backcourt players, but you have one of your players who I saw accepted a scholarship here last week.
Blake Brinkmeyer, yes. Real excited for him. Indiana State's, I think it can be a good fit for him. Coach Lansing's an Iowa guy, he kind of came in and stole him. So we're happy for him. We're excited for him. I know he's excited. I think it's been a little bit of something lift off his shoulders, and we're hoping he has a great senior year for us.
How is that for a kid? I mean, he's not the first kid you've had recruited. What is that like? Some guys want to decide before the season because they don't want to deal with it. Some wait until the end because they think, I can get a better offer. How do you coach a guy or talk him through making one of the biggest decisions of his life?
That's an excellent question. I just try to be as candid and truthful as I can with my experience over the years and as a coach working with players that are being recruited, and then from my own playing experience and recruiting experience. So just try to speak the truth to them and give them the best advice possible, and then support them in whatever they decide they want to do, because ultimately at the end of the day, them and their parents got to make the decision they think is best for them. I just try to be a sounding board and give them the best advice that I can.
Because they can go, even if they go to other family members, the family member might not give them the best advice because they're seeing something different. You really don't have an interest on where he goes. You just want what's best for him.
And getting them to understand that sometimes is hard. But no, you're exactly right. And that's where I know that I've always been able to sleep well with that approach. So I'll always do that until I'm done coaching. And like I said, just trying to give them the most truthful and honest, and even though sometimes they may not want to hear some of that honesty, the best advice you can give them and that you feel is going to help them out.
So this is beginning your 4th year here at Valley. You used to be at the school that Valley is playing tonight at Southeast Polk. You know some of those guys.
I know a lot of those guys. Coach Lenovich was probably still is one of my closest friends in the coaching fraternity, and I spent 8 great years around him and working with him, sharing athletes. And so, it was a special 8 years for me there, no doubt about it. But Valley's the home now. So.
Yeah. And so tell us about the team. What do you think you got coming back that people should get excited about?
Well, we have a tremendous amount of talent. But what the characteristics of our last 2 years' success has been just great leadership. So we're still trying to see how that all comes together. We know that the goals that we have every year to get to where we want to go, when you get that far, all the teams have talent.
Yeah.
So then it's the other things that make the difference. We've been very fortunate to have great leaders with high character that are hard workers on top of the fact they're talented. So this could be one of the most talented teams I've ever put out there. But we still got some of those things to sort through, and doing some of that now. And they're a great group of kids. This incoming senior class was undefeated as sophomores. Several of them contributed heavily last year. A few of them started a lot of games.
Yeah.
And then we have a very nice complementary junior class coming in with some nice players, and they were 20-1 as sophomores last year. So we like them. We like our group, and just hope everybody stays healthy. And
there's some wood right over there. Knock on that if you need to, because
right.
that's what you want. But
Yeah.
it does get to be a long season, and hard to believe it'll be here before we know it. And hopefully we'll have some games. You've always been great to us whenever we need interviews, either before a game or after a game. And I know Dar and I both appreciate that. So appreciate that, Coach. And we'll see you, in just a few weeks, it seems.
Right. I appreciate you having me and giving me a chance to talk a little bit about the boys. So.
All right. Thank you much. That's head boys basketball coach, B.J. Windhorst. And it is a halftime score, Southeast Polk 20, Valley 13. We'll take a quick 1-minute break and be back after this on CISN.TV.
Hi, Ron here, head coach of Westside Auto Pros. When your car's on the injured reserve, you want to get it back in the game as soon as possible. I know that. That's why you need to bring it here to Westside Auto Pros. I have a team of experts that can fix almost every automotive injury, whether it's a fractured joint, a brake, or if your car just got its bell rung, no problem. We can even do a complete physical on your car to make sure it's game ready for the entire season. So bring your car to Westside Auto Pros and we'll get it back in the starting lineup in no time. Hey, you guys are dogging it back here. Let's move it, move it, move it.
Moms typically get to make a majority of the healthcare decisions for their family. That can be a lot of pressure, but not for me, because I know the choice is ours. For medical tests like MRIs, X-rays, CAT scans, and of course mammograms, ask your doctor to refer you to Iowa Radiology. They work around our hectic schedules, they're the best at what they do, and they're so great with my family. They truly care, and it shows. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule an appointment. Iowa Radiology, our focus is your good health.
All right, welcome back. We've talked a lot of Valley athletics. Let's talk about athletes and let's care for them a little bit. Dr. Tim Vineyard from Iowa Ortho's here, and I guess unofficially or officially, the team doctor, you're the one that they kind of look to. And what is a game night like for you?
Pretty straightforward. I usually get here, a game time to 30 minutes beforehand, and I communicate well with the trainers. Caleb Fries and Nicole Haney, who they do a great job managing the kids on a day-to-day, week-to-week basis. And if there's any issues, they let me know, and I'm here to help out. And I'm here to provide basically any medical needs that might come up. Unfortunately, football, it's a great sport, but it's a rough sport, and sometimes kids get hurt, and it's nice to have somebody there that can make an assessment. Hey, okay, I think this looks pretty good, and I think you might just have a sprain, and let's test it out. And if you're good, we'll let you go back in. And anything beyond that, if it's not safe for the kids to go back in, we're here to say, hey, I'm sorry, I just don't think it's safe for you to go back in. We got to pull you out.
How has that changed in your time?
Oh, it's changed tremendously, especially in the world of concussions. I mean, we were just talking about it earlier down the field with some of my colleagues that, we used to get dinged up and we'd pull you out for a play or two, and you'd be right back in there. And now, obviously, we know a lot more, and obviously we're erring on the side of safety for these kids. And any kid shows any symptoms whatsoever of a concussion, we're going to pull them out. We're going to make sure they get the proper care that they need, and just make sure we're doing what's in their best interest.
Now, is that protocol by Iowa Ortho, or is that protocol by the Iowa High School Athletic Union, or who sets that?
Well, the Iowa High School Athletic Union, the Iowa law actually now says that if you have any symptoms consistent with a concussion, you have to, by law, be pulled out of the game, and you cannot return until you have a signed document from a licensed medical provider. So, and I think that's a good thing. Again, we're just very much erring on the side of safety for kids, and not just want to be following the law or anything like that. We want to do what's the right thing for the kids.
And that so it goes beyond ankle sprains, knee sprains, and now you focus on the head a lot. But what other than I guess what is the most common injury that you see in game?
In games, I see a lot of ankle sprains, a lot of knee sprains. Unfortunately, I've seen my share of fractures, ankle fractures, ACL tears, a very common thing. Shoulder dislocations or shoulder separations, another unfortunately common injury that I see.
Yeah,
I say those are the main ones.
Yeah, and then so is your busiest day Saturday? In the
Saturday,
office?
Saturday does tend to be a busy day. We have actually at Iowa Ortho, we have a free walk-in clinic from 8 to 10 a.m. Every Saturday, and kids can come in and get evaluated. And if there's a doctor there, if they need to get X-rays, we need to set them up for an MRI or something like that, we obviously offer those services as well. So yeah, Saturdays do tend to be busy.
Now, I remember. Do you still have those cold or the packs that you can break and they turn cold right away? That's what I always remember.
Yep.
It's like, don't break that because we've only got 2 of those for the whole trip.
Yeah, the advancements in the obviously what we have available on the sidelines has advanced quite a bit too, and so we're that concept is always evolving, and we're again always just trying to do what's best for the kids.
Can you tape an ankle still with your eyes closed?
No, I leave it again. We've
that
got
to the trainers.
2 trainers, they're outstanding. They do a great job, and I certainly leave that up to them. I don't want to step on their toes.
Yeah, and let them because they don't. You don't. Let's be honest. He doesn't want to show that I might have forgotten how to do that.
No.
That's kind of how that happens.
It
but
wouldn't be a very pretty tape job if they asked me to do it.
Yeah, and those shoulder things, you see guys with them, and they get hit, and it's like it just pops out while they're walking, and I just always think that looks so painful. But some of them, they just get so focused in the moment, they maybe don't realize how much pain they really should be in.
Yeah, there's a lot. These kids. This high school football. They're excited. They got a lot of adrenaline running, and when they get injured, typically they we'll pull them off the sidelines, and within 5 minutes, they're feeling better and want to go back in. And that's sometimes where I have to come in and kind of put the brakes on and say, let's make sure we're doing the right thing. Let's make sure we're doing what's safe for you.
All right, Dr. Tim Vineyard, I'll let you get back to work from Iowa Ortho. Thank you so very much. We'll step away and have the second half kickoff right after this.
Miss your hometown clothing store, the one that had it all? Everything to get the work done, all in one place? G&L Clothing is your hometown Iowa store. Stop in and see us, or we're only a click or phone call away. Family owned for nearly a century. G&L Clothing, 1801 Ingersoll, Des Moines.
G&L Clothing, your size, your style, we've got it all.
Many times at the Lodge of Ashworth, new members come to us from their big, beautiful homes. They find our spacious 2 and 3 bedroom suites to be an ideal fit. We have a limited number of these larger and penthouse-style suites, perfect for the retiring executive style living. We have suites ready for immediate move-in, or we can help you customize. The Lodge of Ashworth is all-inclusive, no surprise additional fees or upcharges. Call us today for a private tour and ask us about our flexible pricing plans.
Every month or so, there's another story in the media about when and how often we need to get our mammograms. Kind of confusing. When this happens, I like to consult with experts. So I called Iowa Radiology. They recommend women get an annual mammogram starting at age 40. They know that it's the best way to detect cancers early and save lives. And that's good enough for me. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule your mammogram. Iowa Radiology, our focus is your good health.
They know what special means. At Godfather's Pizza, we do special, and we do it better. We add the T. There's a Godfather specialty pizza with your name on it. Classic combo, all meat combo, hot stuff, taco, yeah, even veggie and more. All of them piled high with the best toppings and 100% real cheese. Treat yourself special. Order specialty pizzas from Godfather's Pizza.
Don't Bring Me Down. It's a different way of that song. I seem to remember ELO a little differently. They had Don't Bring Me Down. Bruce?
They did.
Don't Bring Me Down. Bruce? Isn't that what they said?
That's how I remember it.
Jimmy, was it Bruce or Deuce?
It was actually Gruce, and they changed it to Bruce because that's what it sounded like they were saying.
What's Gruce? Is that some dude?
No idea. It was just the word that they had with the songwriter when they wrote the song.
Kind of like revved up like a deuce in the middle of the night, blinded by the light.
Right, but
we all know deuce was not the word they were saying. I mean, right? Am I right? I think so. Jimmy Olsen on controls tonight. here at Valley Stadium. Paul Yeager, Keith Bornis, just one Bornis. So that means you're a Born Eye? No, that would be all of you. That would be all of you. Born Eye.
Yeah.
A Born. We got a Born. Second half, Valley trails 20-13 over Southeast Polk. What's Polk done right in the first half here, Keith?
They have controlled the line of scrimmage, and they've also controlled the tempo of the game. They've sped it up. They've slowed it down. They just need to continue doing what they're doing. And that kickoff is right where they left off.
Valley gets the ball to start the second half as they won the coin toss and deferred, and they'll bring it out to the 20-yard line. At the end of regulation, there was a roughing the kicker that allowed Southeast Polk to kick the ball again, and this time it was good from 37 yards out for number 12, Luke Williams. And that's how we have a 20-13 score as we begin quarter number 3 tonight here. Valley Stadium, second to last home game of the regular season already.
It's flying by.
It does fly by. We're having fun. Handoff, Javon Mason. He goes up the middle, and that looks just like the first half.
It has been some very tough sledding between the tackles. And as you were talking about in the first half, the pass has to be there to set up the run. They're going to stay in there tight until Lombardi starts to throw the ball down the field a little bit.
Let's see what, let's watch Ira on the edge. He is, watch number 48, kind of always see where he is and maybe try to run away from him. And they are on this play. Ira's making the case. Mason breaks his way through. And before he gets too far, he is tackled by the free safety, TJ Armstrong. 5'10", 160-pound junior makes that stop after a gain of about 7 yards.
Mason hit that hole very quickly. I was actually pretty impressed with how Armstrong was able to come up and make that play. I thought it was going to be a first down.
Well, and Mason, you know, he hasn't really bowled the guy over at full speed. He just hasn't had much open space to run. Lombardi looks and throws, caught, and a first down. Ryan New, the sophomore, he has absolutely been a go-to receiver, and with no more Jalen Long tonight, New is going to have to be the guy.
And he has the tools to be the guy. He is really a mature kid for his age, being a sophomore, has zero fear out there running across the field into coverage.
Mason gets it out in the flats, and then he is quickly stopped. That was Al Durr, who he's got 5 tackles for loss on the season, and he won't get credited for a loss, but he will get credited for a tackle. He's got 23.5 on the season. Quickly out the other way, and it's incomplete. Tariq Brown, the intended receiver, just too low, and I don't know if Brown gets more than 3 yards on that anyway.
But at the same time, Valley's picking up the tempo a little bit, trying to put a little pressure on them. And who knows, as people come up, Polk is they've rushed hard. We talk about it being kind of an overplaying the play, and they've been successful with it early. Valley trying to change tempos a little bit.
Bo looks and throws and then dropped. Intended receiver was Carson Shelton, and that'll be a fourth down, and Shelton would have had a little bit of space. And so Valley gets a few yards. They get 35 yards, 15 yards up to the 35, and then they're going to have to punt the football away. So Polk will have pretty good field position if this is just an average kick. Getting his leg into it is Connor Russo. And fair catch is made by Flynn at the 34-yard line, and I'd call that an average kick. Flip the field a little bit. It'll be at the Southeast Polk 34-yard line. Southeast Polk watched Valley score first. Javon Mason, a 46-yard touchdown run, and then Shane Starcevich, a 85-yard run up the gut, 7-7, and then Polk got a 28-yard touchdown run by Shane Starcevich. Then Luke Williams, the field goal. Bo Lombardi, a 1-yard touchdown run, and up the middle for no gain are the Rams. Shane Starcevich again.
That pile, Valley's defensive line right there in the thick of things, and that pile went down quickly. The tackle was never in doubt.
Ball to 34. 2nd and 10. Under 10 to play. Starcevich in the shotgun. Williams next to him. The give to Williams. Darts outside, and he's driven out of bounds. Connor Shelton.
A nice job by Valley's defense to stretch that play out. Shelton coming up to finish off the play. Again, as we said earlier, Williams not an easy guy to bring down, but if you can just push him out of bounds, that's just as good as a tackle.
Third and 11, 9:03 to play. Starcevich looks left, throws down the middle of the field. He's got a receiver for a moment. And Lucas Kaser unable to haul it in. And it'll be punting formation. The defense of the Tigers holds for now.
Samples on the coverage there. That's about as tight a coverage as you can legally have.
He had his arms out, I thought, more as an effort to say, I am Superman, not I didn't touch him. Punt is in and up, kind of a wobbly one. It's going to bounce and taken at the 22, and then slipping after a return of about 10 is Ryan New. And the way his helmet moved down, I think he said some words he doesn't want his mother to hear.
But that's okay. She's not listening. She's right out front. Ryan New is a dangerous return guy. I think he's got a great future ahead of himself here at Valley. And
did you have him as a freshman last year?
we did, yeah. I believe I mentioned that early on in the season, he was one of those guys, we'd never kept track of return yards until he had a pretty good game. He was nearly 1,000 return yards last year.
Lombardi throws passes, tipped at the line, and it's incomplete. It might have been Ira. It also might have been Ben Rocha. He is the leader of that defense right there in the middle, big number 90. He's a
Stronger, faster, healthier. You want more. You want to be part of something bigger than yourself.
ball at the Valley 32 again on 2nd down. Out to Trey Fugate. Makes one guy miss, makes another, spun around. Spun around, Josh Wade in there now. Wade also playing free safety along with TJ Armstrong. Gain of about 9. It'll be 3rd and 1 from the 41 of Valley.
Nice quick pass play, getting it out to playmaker. Now 3rd and very manageable.
Lombardi with Fugate behind him. They give it to Trey. Trey's got the first down, I think.
Well,
the near spot says yes. I thought he was going to keep running, then all of a sudden he just flat out hit Ira. Ira and Mason Morgan.
Yes. That was a very, very quick change of direction.
So this is Fugate's series. Up to the Valley 43, 7:45 to play. 1st and 10. Southeast Polk 20. Valley 13. Lombardi throws. Caught and downed. Tackle made by Luke Board. Luke Matney, the reception.
in this series, with the exception of one play, Valley's been able to start getting ahead of the chains in those early downs. First and long, second and long, third and long. They don't help your team out very well.
2nd and 2, Fugate's met, and I think now Southeast Polk is going to say, Southeast Polk's cheering like it's a fumble, and the officials blew that play dead early. And I can hear that's terrible from all the way up here.
It is all a matter of perspective, but the ball never hit the ground. It was taken and returned to the end zone, but yes, this near side official did call him down. Bo Lombardi was actually getting ready to make a tackle and must have heard the whistles.
So all of a sudden the ball goes back to the Valley 47 after being at the Southeast Polk. Loss of 3 on the run by Fugate. But now it's 3rd and 6. Still manageable for the Tigers, but the Rams trying to make a play. Brown catches it, and he's going to be short, kept in bounds by Alder. The senior does the job, and it'll be 4th down and about 4. And Valley is contemplating going for it, and it looks like they are going to go for it.
Not a bad decision here, as you've been able to get those 4-yard pass plays.
You got to get to the 47. Pass is made complete. Tariq Brown at the 45.
That was kind of a clutch catch.
That really was, right in a lot of traffic, too. Boy, and a gain of 6. That's huge for Valley. Polk feeling they kind of had one taken away from them. Now have to dig down and make a stop. 1st down and 10 from the 45. Lombardi gives it to Trey Fugate, who goes right up the gut. He's brought down by Bo Ira. Ira's sister, played girls basketball at Southeast Polk. Remember seeing her at the state tournament a couple of years ago.
Yes, Polk certainly had a mainstay down at
They had
the well.
They had reservations.
Reservations. Yes.
Reservations for 12. South sideline. Ball at the 43. 2nd down. Lombardi to throw. And nearly intercepted. Tell you what, these guys are making it easy. Gabe was guarding Brown. One-on-one coverage out there. And Brown was moving well ahead downfield. And that one fell short. Lucky to get that one back are the Tigers.
Very. The ball, one of those deals where if the ball's thrown a little bit higher, the catch is made a little further downfield. Good pass, good route, exceptional defensive back play.
10th play of the drive. Lombardi throws. His receiver just flat out fell down. Tariq Brown stumbled at the 4 of 40. And Nate Flynn says, I don't care how it works. I'll take it. Now it's 4th and a lot longer. But I think Valley, they went for it before. Why not go for it again? But this time they're going to punt it. That's a lot less manageable. 4th and 8.
Yeah. On that previous play, Tariq Brown was kind of looking at the official saying, I didn't go to the ground by myself. I had help.
Russo has a chance to pin the Rams back. Gets the kick away. It's going to bounce inside the 10, and picking it up is Johnson. Whew. I think that's inside the 10. That's usually considered a little inadvisable.
Yeah, it is. But he certainly showed some sure hands and a lot of confidence.
So Southeast Polk, they had such great field position in that eternity known as the first quarter. They'll start it at their own 7. So the 10-play drive stalls for the Tigers. Ram defense makes the plays when they need to. 1st and 10, 4:32 to go. Third quarter. Starcevic gives it to Williams. Spins out of one tackle, but not another. Oh boy, let's see. So you had John Shaner slow to get up, and Victor Ariola made the tackle. Shaner a little slow there. He did now pop up. Somehow he got 5 yards on that. Isn't that something, how
yes.
Williams is so good?
He really is. Again, I have not seen him fall backward. I've seen him lose some yards, but he was still on his feet, being driven out of bounds.
The fake to Williams, and then Starcevic keeps it, and I think he's now regretting that decision as the tackle is made right there on the inside by Darius Manuel.
Yes. Manuel did a great job of getting into the backfield. It's very tough to make a read as to do I hand it off or not when the path of the running back is being disrupted, and he's also close enough that if I attempt to make this handoff, there could be a fumble here. So Starcevic actually did a great job hanging on to the ball.
We're going to have a timeout. Southeast Polk will step away as well. 3:10 to play here in the third quarter.
Place for people of all ages, all walks of life, that provides opportunities for all to succeed. We do that. We're the why. Build more than muscle. Build a stronger community. You want to get stronger.
When people visit the Lodge of Ashworth, they fall in love with our grounds. They're impressed with our dining room, but it is our spacious 2- and 3-bedroom suites that attract the most attention. With bay windows, full kitchens, large walk-in closets, and modern appliances, the Lodge feels like home. We have suites move-in ready, or we will help you customize. Create a home office, media room, or bedroom for visiting friends or family. Call us today for a private tour and ask about our flexible pricing plans. When people visit the Lodge of Ashworth,
Neither team has found a way to score here in the second half. We've played all but 3 minutes and 10 seconds of this quarter. Southeast Polk has the football, facing a 3rd and 5 from their own 12, up 7 here on CISN.TV. Paul Yeager and Keith Bornes from Valley Stadium tonight. Glad you're with us. Beautiful night for football. The breeze out of the east, about 6 miles an hour. The give to Williams, spreading out that play is the Valley defense, and then a high tackle right in front of the official. There'll be no penalty on that. Up to about the 12, so no gain.
Breckencobb's a wrestler. He knows how to do a lateral drop without getting into the face mask.
So that was a 2nd and 5 that went nowhere on downs 2, 3, and now 4 is a punting formation. And so for now, the Valley defense holds. Back at his own end zone. Polk gets it away. Nice punt. Fair catch called for and made by Ryan New at the 49-yard line, and that's where the Tigers will come out to start. All right, so you've had a couple of plays, had a couple of series. You've thrown the ball, you've run the ball. What's your play call here?
I'm going to start going back to those 5-yard outs and see if I can lull them to sleep and then throw one over the top.
Well, now we got Creighton Mitchell behind Lombardi, who's now gone under center. Quick pass out to that's Tariq Brown, caught at the 50, 40, 35, breaks the tackle, down to the 25-yard line, gain of 26. Just like that, a quick move offense.
Anytime you're going to throw a pass play to the outside and you're going to get it into the hands of a playmaker, the play has to get out there quick. And so you got to credit Bo Lombardi for getting the snap and turning and throwing it as quickly as he did.
Tariq Brown down on the far sideline. And here comes the training staff.
That looks like Dr. Vineyard heading out there.
And just like that, we'll step away as the training staff attends to Tariq Brown. This is CISN.TV.
Great selection, great experience. That's what people expect today. What isn't expected is how hard we work after the sale to keep your business. Hard work, honesty, integrity, discipline, trust, character. These core values are why we grow every year and why we continue to acquire more dealerships. Experience the Schottenkirk way of doing business and come visit our new Ford dealership in Indianola. Great price.
And here, we don't just dream of a better tomorrow, of a smarter way to do business or live, of perseverance and progress. We inspire it in others. We challenge the conventional, reimagine what it means to be better, and then dare ourselves to make it great. This is Iowa, and here, we don't just dream, we make history. This
Tariq Brown walks off on his own power. It's the give on the off tackle play to Mason. Gets about 2. Hadn't seen Mason in a couple of series.
No. And that was a play right there where Mason was able to gain a couple of yards on his own. He fell forward, got a good push.
New at the top of the screen. Lombardi under center. They're rolling to the right. Play action back to the left. Lombardi throws. New was open, and Lombardi threw it 6 yards short, and Bo knows. Bo knows what he just did.
Yes, and the problem was, as Bo was looking out there, I thought I saw Ryan New make a move like he was going to run the wheel route, which would have been open as well, and I think Bo was trying to set up for that, and when he didn't, the mesh, if you will, just didn't happen well.
Well, the guards pulled to the right on that play, and then they went the opposite way. The play was there. Lombardi throws, caught, and down with one knee is Luke Matney. And he's up to the 7, and that's a first down. Up to the 8.
12. 13.
Hold on.
We'll get this figured out.
Oh, it's that side. Oh, yeah. 13. Gain of 10. I told you, sometimes I actually watch the game. Not always.
Well, that math thing gets in our way, too.
Oh, man, I was doing quick math with Levi the other day, and it's like, I got to do this for me, too. They go Creighton Mitchell up the gut. Tell you what, you got to keep track of who's in there right now.
That's right.
They're running all sorts of guys.
And Paul, I've said this before, I'll say it again. When it comes to math, I am no Roger Scott.
Yeah. Hey, let's do math facts. Okay, good. All right. 48 to 37. Oh, that's easy. 11. Okay. No, I meant the opposing 48 to the near. Tackles go to the right. Mitchell fumbles it. And that is the second time that, if that is supposed to be a delayed handoff or something, but Polk is getting right there. They are reading that play, Keith.
They are. Durr was coming off the edge on a blitz, and he got there before Mason did. Or is it Mason or?
That was Mitchell.
Mitchell.
Loss of 7.
And I think feeling very good that the ball is still in their hands.
I think Tigers are. Ball goes back to the 18, 3rd and 14. Lombardi looks to the left, throws, nearly intercepted, and absolutely Luke Board knows that was probably 6 points the other way if he holds on.
Yes, and that's one of those things where Bo kind of gave the appearance as though, here's where I'm going, you're not going to change my mind.
He was looking left the whole time, and that's one of those looking off receivers. That's not the easiest thing to do.
No.
But you've got to do it if you want to be able to keep playing quarterback. It'll be a 35-yard field goal attempt, and the kick is left and no good. Wide left. goes the kick by Tinsley Wright, and the Tigers leave points on the field again.
The second time the snap was not clean, or the hold was not clean. And the result?
It's another missed field goal.
Nadas.
So 16.2 to go here. And Southeast Polk will get it at their own 20-yard line. They have the lead in the ball, 7 points. If it's a running play, might be the last play of the quarter. Very deep is Williams. Toss sweep to the right, fumble. Gets it back and still somehow gets back to the line of scrimmage. Making the stop for the Tigers is Jacob McCudden. And that will end the third quarter. The fourth when we come back on CISN.TV.
Who believes in competition and good sportsmanship. Who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
Seal, it's about trust. Whether I'm buying a car, hiring a contractor, finding a tax preparer, or an honest mechanic, the Better Business Bureau seal means this business meets high standards. When I see the seal, I know I'll get what I pay for. No more taking chances and no more worries. And I feel good about supporting local businesses. My life is so much easier knowing I can always trust BBB accredited businesses. It pays to look for the seal. See for yourself at bbb.org/Iowa.
I thought we'd have a close game, Keith.
Yes.
I thought we'd have a clean game.
Yes.
I thought we'd have an entertaining game. Are we one of three?
It's close.
Pick one. I don't know which one you want to pick. Quarter number 4 begins with Southeast Polk on the upside. They lead 20-13 over the Valley Tigers. Starcevich rolls. He's got pressure. Throws it short. Somehow it's caught by Nate Flynn. A, I thought the ball hit the turf. B, I thought his knee hit the turf. But nobody on the Valley sideline thinks so because they're not moving. So clearly that was just my distance. I'll take their distance. It's halfway. All the way up to the 35-yard line. Gain of 15.
There were a couple of headsets that came off as though they were going to try and make a statement toward it, but nobody charged the field.
Flynn made that. He played defense last year. He's moved to the offensive side of the ball and been dynamic. Ball up to the 35 of Southeast Polk. Play action again. Starcevich goes deep. He's got Flynn, but just overthrew him. Incomplete. It'll be second down.
The play action pass that Starcevich put together there was really good. It froze not only the linebackers, but the defensive backs had to play a little catch up after watching it.
Valley next week, home with Indianola. Southeast Polk, home with Newton. But neither one of those teams are anywhere in the forefront of either of these teams' mind. They're in a dogfight. Starcevich keeps it and regrets it. No gain, loss of 2. Actually, they're going to give him forward progress, so he'll only lose 1. And making the tackle again is Logan Kruzman. He's had a good night.
He has had a very good night. He's had a very good season, as has McCudden. But tonight, it really seems like it's been all Kruzman.
10:48 to play. 3rd and 11 for the Rams. From their own 34, Starcevich gets rid of it in time over the head of Williams. He would have probably picked up a lot of yards, maybe enough for the first, but if he would have caught it, It would have been short, but I know with his speed and agility, he would have really made it interesting. It'll now be a punting situation for the Rams.
And what Southeast Polk has been able to do in special teams here, the punts have gone so high, there has not been a return yet.
High one again, as getting his leg into it is Peyton Atson, and it's taken at the 35. Pretty good field position for the Tigers.
But at the yes, it's great starting position, but Southeast Polk has gotten themselves out of a lot of trouble with the punt game. You know, sometimes people will go ahead and get a 50-yard punt, and there's a 40-yard return because you outkick your coverage. These punts have been nice. They've been high. If you get a 35-yard punt with no return, that's going to flip the field for you.
It is 10.5 to play. Lombardi sends Brown in motion. Fakes it, play action. They're going down for the post. And it's caught!
My!
Oh, wow! Ryan New, it's a race to the end zone. Touchdown! 65 yards. Ryan New, you got two hands. He used them both. One to tip it, the other to catch it.
That play set up by Bo Lombardi as he tucked the ball away off the play action. It looked like it was going to be a run up the middle. Bo just nonchalantly moves back, turns, fires the ball down to a wide open New.
Well, that'll flip the field position. Now the key thing is if you can get the extra point. That has been not an easy situation yet tonight for Valley. The kick is up and good. We're tied at 20 when we come back from CISN.TV.
I opened the hearing clinic to offer patients and their families a positive healthcare experience. If you have trouble hearing clearly at church, at the movies, watching TV, or with your friends and family in a group conversation, what are you waiting for? In less than half an hour, we can give you peace of mind and answer any questions that you may have. Call us today to schedule your appointment. The Hearing Clinic, 515-440-3323. We listen, you hear.
Hi, Ron here, head coach of Westside Auto Pros. When your car's on the injured reserve, you want to get it back in the game as soon as possible. I know that. That's why you need to bring it here to Westside Auto Pros. I have a team of experts that can fix almost every automotive injury. Whether it's a fractured joint, a brake, or if your car just got its bell rung, no problem. We can even do a complete physical on your car to make sure it's game ready for the entire season. So bring your car to Westside Auto Pros and we'll get it back in the starting lineup in no time. Hey, you guys are dogging it back here. Let's move it, move it, move it.
Southeast Polk and Valley tied at 20. Great catch, Ryan New. 10:21 to play here on CISN.TV. This is Iowa High School football. And it's a return up to about 21.
Nice kickoff coverage by the Tigers. I was not expecting a squib kick there.
Is that what happened? Yeah.
It sure was.
I was trying to, I tell you what, these fast timeouts and things like that, 60 seconds I know passes the same as any other 60 seconds. But trying to tweet a little bit at CISN TV, or I'm at Paul Yeager. And that's Keith Bornas. And this is
But
20,
I am not
on Twitter.
Keith Bornas.
No. And if you were, you'd have to be at the real Keith Bornas. 1st and 10, play action reverse. And tackled behind the line of scrimmage is Nate Flynn. Loss on the play of 4 yards.
Paul, I remember you saying a couple of years ago as we were doing a game together that when things are good, you can't believe they would ever go wrong. And when they're going wrong, you can't figure out how you could ever get them going good again. And right now, Southeast Polk is trying to figure out how to get this thing going back the right direction for them.
Well, it's been Starcevich. You know, he has run the ball a lot. He's had success early on in this game. He had that great 85-yard run to start the game, gain of 2 on that play. It'll be 3rd and 11. But I think he's now maybe calling his number a little too often. There, I don't know if that was a draw the whole way or he just felt, nope, it's not there, I'm going to run.
Yeah. Valley forcing him into a 3rd and long. This is where the defense really needs to step up and hold him from getting that first down.
4-down lineman. Starcevich throws down the near sideline. Incomplete, intended for Williams. Just flat out going up for the ball, playing good defense back there is Bracken Cobb. And Valley forces a 3-and-out at the 8:57 mark here left in the game.
Valley's defense really stepping up. You know, that 8-day first quarter, it was all Southeast Polk.
And on the 8th day, they played the second quarter. High punt. Fair catch called for and taken. Carson Shelton. Almost as good a field position. No, scratch that. Better field position. Up to the 40. And that's where.
And that's after a 40-yard punt.
That was a great punt. Absolutely great punt.
With no return.
So Valley takes over at their own 40. 60 yards to the house. 8:49. Southeast Polk has used 1 timeout. Valley has all 3. Trey Fugate comes in behind. Actually, he'll go to the right of Lombardi. Matney and Brown. Brown on the out. Nope, fake. They go incomplete. And I think that's Luke Matney. It is. Luke Matney, incomplete. That's where they were trying to go.
And both guys open. You know, a nice problem to have, but you got to get the ball in there.
Yeah, and they had Brown on the short route, just kind of, hey, let's see what we can do. And now it's Fugate again with his neon orange and green. They're going to run the short pass, and Tariq Brown, boy, he could hear the footsteps of Luke Board coming right for him and said, I'm not going forward a yard to catch that. Luke Board probably could have picked it.
Yes.
I think he wanted to hit Brown.
And, you know, Polk, Valley's doing a nice job trying to, you know, figuring out what Polk is doing offensively. Polk now doing a nice job figuring out what Valley's going to do offensively. And you talk about that going to the well one too many times. I thought that was going to be a pick 6.
Under center, Lombardi. Fugate. He escapes 1 and cannot escape the second tackler, keeping him in bounds. And pulling him down is TJ Armstrong. Comes up to make that stop at the 44-yard line. 4th and 6. And Valley's going to kick it.
Which is certainly the right call here, as Southeast Polk has not had a play on Valley side of the ball, or side of the 50 yet.
In the second half. No real pressure. Oh, wait a minute. We got a late whistle. It's going to be against Valley. Well, there's penalties, and then there's that. That's just one of those, yeah, it pushes you back 5, but that's not a touchdown erasing penalty like earlier on.
Right.
Or, you know, both teams. I mean, because remember, Polk had a penalty on a pass interference on that same drive that allowed Valley to get up that close. To that point, Valley hadn't exactly been stellar with their offense as the kick gets away from Russo, and it's out of bounds again, no return. 29-yard line. Sound familiar?
Just a little bit.
All right, so you are Coach Zelenovich. What do you do right now?
Well, I think you're going to have to start feeding the ball to your tailback and see if you can run in between the tackles a little bit. You have to wear down Valley's defense. They are getting a big push right now, and one of the ways to work through that is if you have the people, which Polk certainly does up front, they're going to have to go right at them.
Flynn is on the field. Williams is next to Starcevich. They give it to Williams. Spread them out. Wrap them up. Is Shelton. And also Darius Manuel.
Yes.
Manuel?
Manuel.
Mm-hmm. That's what I have written. I just doubted myself. Gain of 1 for Williams. But that's a start. Up to the 30. 70 yards to the house. Play action, runs to the near side. Starcevich throws off his back foot, incomplete. He was going for Dylan Travis. And Noah Samples was there on the coverage. You know, this offensive line has been a source of pride for the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
And they're trying to figure out a way that they can hold off just enough. They got to get 8 yards here.
You know, you're kind of now forcing yourself into a passing down, and they still haven't attacked right in the middle yet.
3rd and 8. Starcevich looks down the middle, tipped by Flynn his own way, got his hands on it, but couldn't haul it in. It would have been enough for a first down. And instead now, we're just kissing sisters here. We're going back 3 and out, 3 and out. Neither team really finding much offensive prowess right now.
And again, we get into the kicking game here a little bit. The special teams have definitely gone Polk's way as far as field position is concerned.
Again to punt is Peyton Atzin. And we're going to have a return for the Tigers. And still on his feet, still running, Casey Shelton down the near sideline, inside the 20. Incredible return. He looked like a video game there.
And the one time he outkicks his coverage.
Well, I know. I don't know if he did. That coverage was there.
Well,
he had 2 guys right around him, but maybe just the rest of them couldn't make it. The jet guys.
The first time that Valley didn't feel like, I have to fair catch this. They had room to receive it. And so on that side of the coin, I say he outkicked his coverage because it wasn't as high as it's been.
Tigers have it on the Polk 17. Lombardi looks right, ducks under, throws left, touch pass, caught by Brown inside the 10.
A flag.
To the 5. Scratch that, not Brown. That was Creighton Mitchell. We got 2 flags anyway, near and far. Sounds like a Dr. Seuss book. Illegal. So that play's wiped off the board. And I think if you're Valley, you got to put it in the end zone. You're not going to rely on kicking the ball.
Right now, the way the game has gone, I would tend to agree.
Ball goes back to the 22 on the penalty. It'll remain first down. 15 yards to go. We've seen very little Javon Mason. Lombardi gives it to Creighton Mitchell, who goes right up the gut. Makes a move, sidestep, still on his feet inside the 5. He's bound and determined to get inside the 10-yard line. Whether it's a pass this time, it's a run. Javon Mason, who?
Yeah, Mitchell hit that hole very quickly. And that sidestep, that was kind of fun to watch.
Up to the 7.
I'm a fan. I'm a fan of a sidestep like that, jump cut.
That was a nice move. Gain of 15, right? 22 minus 7?
Yes, right there.
I almost said it with a straight face. I formation. Mitchell is the back in the I. Lombardi just goes forward. They were trying to get the first down on second and short. Are you trying to run clock?
Well, I think you're just trying to get a fresh set of downs at the 5-yard line.
Yeah, but second and short from the 6?
But take a look who's in on offense there. Darius Manuel went in there to get a little shove on the line and a little bit of a quarterback sneak. That's almost trickeration, man.
Yeah, you wouldn't normally expect it. Nor did I. Lombardi goes under center. First and goal from the 5. Handoff, Creighton Mitchell, left side. He's got it. If he's in, touchdown! Tigers! Creighton Mitchell lets a roar fly. The Tigers take the lead for the first time since 11-11 in the first quarter. And on the third play of the drive, the extra point is up and good. Tigers have a 27-20 lead, 5:24 to play. This is CISN.TV.
Moms typically get to make a majority of the healthcare decisions for their family. That can be a lot of pressure, but not for me, because I know the choice is ours. For medical tests like MRIs, X-rays, CAT scans, and of course mammograms, ask your doctor to refer you to Iowa Radiology. They work around our hectic schedules, they're the best at what they do, and they're so great with my family. They truly care, and it shows. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule an appointment. Iowa Radiology, our focus is your good health.
Miss your hometown clothing store? The one that had it all? Everything to get the work done, all in one place? G&L Clothing is your hometown Iowa store. Stop in and see us. Or we're only a click or phone call away. Family owned for nearly a century. G&L Clothing. 1801 Ingersoll, Des Moines.
G&L Clothing. Your size, your style, we've got it all.
Oh my.
That was a mistake.
Oh. You know, you learn how to read certain ways coaches phrase things about players when you say, he's got really good talent, da-da-da-da. He's still a young player.
He is.
And I think we're seeing a little bit of that right there as Williams watched it. So now the Rams have a long way to go. 91 yards from an attempt to tie this with 5:24.
Yes, that right there was a 27-yard mistake.
We'll see what happens. Rams have it 1st and 10 from the 9. Starcevich throws and then caught. What was that about a mistake? Not anymore. What a play.
And in good coverage, the defensive back was right there, all draped over him, and still a remarkable catch.
26-yard gain. And I tell you, their go-to receiver has been Flynn tonight. Don't you think, here in the second half?
He's been very impressive.
1st and 10 from the 35. Starcevich screen pass to, you guessed it, Flynn, and they cannot stop him. They only can hope to contain him, and they can't get him until he gets into Ram territory up to the 45-yard line. Gain of 20.
First time Polk has been across midfield in the second half, and they got there quick.
It was all by design. They're just trying to, Williams is just trying to help a good story. He dropped it inside the 10. Starcevich throws, caught out on the far sideline, and just trying to shove him at first was Shelton. And then, right at the end, ball.
Yes,
No,
talk about
the
a
ball
mistake.
came out, right?
Well, a flag came
flag
down.
came out. That's what it was.
And so the first Valley defender comes up and tries to make a hit rather than a tackle. And so after that,
Jackson Snyder to catch.
yeah, because the tackle wasn't made by the first person, the second person comes in and makes a little contact with the face mask. So instead of it being 2nd and 5, it's a 1st and 10. Ball at the 35 instead of the 40.
It has all of a sudden, Polk has figured out how to run some offensive plays here, and they are knocking on the door. Starcevich rolls out, throws back across his body, caught the reverse screen, and making a good open field tackle, Joe Wellman.
Nice job of recovering for Mr. Wellman, as there was a lot of green space, real estate, if you will, ahead of him, and Wellman closed that gap quickly.
Gain of 4 to the Valley 31, 3:30 to go. 2nd and 7 for the Rams. They are dictating the plays now. Starcevich, plenty of time, now runs out, rolls, and caught.
Oh.
And dropped by Jake Snyder.
Talk about closing a gap. Jake Snyder, I was concerned about the angle that he had taken. I thought Starcevich was going to be able to run around that, but Snyder able to tie up those legs and bring him down.
(27-20) Valley leads. Southeast Polk with the football with 2:42 to go. Starcevich sends William out of the backfield. Sends him left. Calls out, looks that way, throws that way. Williams off his fingertips and dropped inside the 10. Coverage by Areola. It'll be 4th down. And you gotta go for it here.
Gotta. The athleticism that Williams showed on that play, yes, he's young. Yes, there's some rookie-ish type mistakes, but my goodness, is he an athlete.
They're sending out Bell, the fullback. He caught the first pass of this drive to get him 5 yards. It's 4th and 4, 2:30. Rams have to get to the 25. Starcevich running out of time. Throws. Caught! Inside the 15 for a 1st down. Austin Johnson comes up big.
A clutch throw on that. Starcevich was put on the move. He had to get out of some pressure, and with all of that, he still had the wherewithal to find his receiver downfield.
Yeah, and I saw 2 receivers for the Rams near, and I was like, oh, he's throwing it away, but I did not see. He had Flynn behind there. Flynn is on the far left side. They're looking his way again. They're going for the deep route towards the end zone. Out of bounds, forced out of bounds. The referee drops the hat. Just to let you know, he went out of bounds. 2 minutes even, 2nd and 10. Tigers still have all 3 timeouts. Rams have 2. Rams trail 7. If you score, you got to be thinking, are we going for 2 or are we playing for overtime? First, you got to get the touchdown, though.
That's right.
Ball's at the 14. Starcevich, same play. This time they take the under route for Jackson Snyder. And he gets 3. Ball to the 11. It's 3rd and 7. Rams need to get inside the 5 to the 4.
There seems to be a lot more excitement in the air.
It's exciting up here. The fans that are left need to be making some noise. Williams is next to Starcevich in the backfield. Flynn is in the near slot. They're looking for Flynn. Oh, and there's going to be a penalty flag. That's going to be interference. They're going to get John Shaner there.
They are, and unfortunate because the ball was thrown high. I don't know that it was catchable, but at the same time, interference happened.
If he makes contact with him like that, which he did, so that'll give you a fresh set of downs, won't it, inside the 5?
Well, not necessarily. Oh, was it an automatic? Yeah, I don't think it's for automatic.
So it's a 5-yard penalty?
Well, half the distance, maybe. It can't be half the distance. I guess it can be half the distance. So it was a half the distance call because of where it was at, and still 3rd down.
The ball is at the 6.
Now, let's talk about that again. Was it half the distance ball?
Yeah, it was a 5-yard penalty. I still don't know. 3rd down and 1. The Rams have got to get a yard. They go Williams up the gut. He gets it. In fact, he almost gets into the end zone. He's down at the 1. They needed 1 on that play, and they got 4. And now you're starting to look up at that clock that's ticking along. 1:42. Rams at the 1. Shane Starcevich under center. Goes Williams up the middle. Touchdown! Southeast Polk. With 90 seconds to play. You knew he was getting the ball, Keith.
Yes, and on those set of downs there, they attacked in between the tackles. The offensive line got a very good push. It's hard to stop that big group of fellas there. It's hard to stop Williams. Putting both of those things together, Polk got a great push those last 4 plays.
And now you're going for the tie. And the extra point is up and good. We're tied at 27, the final 90 seconds when we come back on CISN.TV.
Many times at the Lodge of Ashworth, new members come to us from their big, beautiful homes. They find our spacious 2- and 3-bedroom suites to be an ideal fit. We have a limited number of these larger and penthouse-style suites, perfect for the retiring executive style living. We have suites ready for immediate move-in, or we can help you customize. The Lodge of Ashworth is all-inclusive, no surprise additional fees or upcharges. Call us today for a private tour and ask us about our flexible pricing plans.
Every month or so, there's another story in the media about when and how often we need to get our mammograms. Kind of confusing. When this happens, I like to consult with experts. So I called Iowa Radiology. They recommend women get an annual mammogram starting at age 40. They know that it's the best way to detect cancers early and save lives. And that's good enough for me. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule your mammogram. Iowa Radiology, our focus is your good health.
"12 plays, 91 yards, ends in a 1-yard touchdown run for Gavin Williams. The Rams converted on 4th down. They also got the help of a penalty. And they just marched right down the field where they hadn't been able to find offense for the first, 1 3/4 of this second half.
Yeah.
And found the offense. And now Valley has a full allotment of timeouts, 1:30, the ball, and 80 yards to go. Sounds like the beginning to a Blues Brothers movie or something. Trying to get to the Folsom Prison. Oh, wait, no, that's the wrong movie. Yeah.
Wrong one. The wind is starting to blow through here just a little bit.
It's supposed to be about 6 miles an hour. We've dropped to about 64 degrees. We started at 70. And we got a penalty flag. Delay a game.
That's one of those deals where all of the coaches start looking around and say, when did the play clock start? And before the ball is set, it's running again.
Bo looks down left side. And the Valley fans are looking for an interference call on New, or to benefit New. Won't get it. It'll be second down.
That was one of those back shoulder passes that Bo threw, and New just didn't get himself stopped in time to come back for it.
Javon Mason back in the game. He's 8 yards deep. Behind Lombardi, they give it to Javon. He covers and gets a yard. No, he doesn't even get a yard. He loses. All right, they're going to give him a yard. So it'll be 3rd down and 14.
That defensive line of Polk is really doing a great job getting into the backfield. Very, very tough yards in the middle there.
So now, if you're Valley, you're not thinking you're going to get the first down, and you're going to run the clock, and then you'll call timeout. Huh. Okay. Quick 30-second timeout to ponder what's going on. Tell your friends. This is a good one. We're back after this.
Guys, they think they know what special means. At Godfather's Pizza, we do special, and we do it better. We add the T. There's a Godfather specialty pizza with your name on it. Classic combo, all meat combo, hot stuff, taco, yeah, even veggie and more. All of them piled high with the best toppings and 100% real cheese. Treat yourself special. Order specialty pizzas from Godfather's Pizza. The other.
Walk me through this, Keith. If you're Valley and you're facing 3rd and 14, you're giving up by letting the clock run down. But if you're Polk, why don't you call timeout there?
Well, two different trains of thought there. More than likely, it's going to be a short field, if that's the case. You can cover an awful lot of ground in 30 seconds. And your 2 timeouts. At the same time, I don't have an answer for it, Paul.
Well, it's 3rd and 14, 46.5 seconds to go. Ball's on the 15.5 of Valley. Turn around, give to Mason. He covers up, runs forward to about the 22, and now Polk uses a timeout on 4th down. 39.8 seconds to go. So Valley's going to have to punt it. If you're Polk, do you go after it? Because if you only have a running into the kicker and it's 5 yards, you're not going to get the first down.
That's right. And the other thing that Southeast Polk obviously has been watching is how much time the punter for Valley has been taking to get it off.
It takes a long time.
So, yeah, you could put together a pretty good rush here and, if nothing else, at least force an errant punt.
Well, okay, so you haven't really put pressure on Russo tonight. But if you're Polk, you haven't really had any return yards. In fact, I don't think you've had any return yards. All right, Russo is at his own 8-yard line. High snap, gets it away. Low kick, takes a roll. There'll be no return, and then Flynn takes it. And hit right there is, or Joel Shaner delivers the hit. Polk has the football at the 46-yard line, 32.8 seconds and a timeout.
Which is still plenty of time. We saw that their field goal unit, kicker has a very good leg. He had plenty of distance on that 42-yard attempt. He just pulled it left. So I'm guessing if you get to the 25-yard line, maybe even the 30-yard line, you can take a shot at field goal.
Trips to the left. Starcevich in center. Flynn to the near side. Look to the trips. Go back to Flynn on the comeback screen. And he's tackled. 25 seconds. Polk's going to take a timeout. Kind of thought maybe they were hoping to get a little bit more on that first play. Didn't think they'd have to use it quite like that. Flynn only got one.
Now you need to start thinking about what are your best opportunities here if you're going to start playing for overtime. As a coach, you don't want to get yourself into a position where you force an interception. A turnover is not your friend.
No, because Valley still has 2 timeouts. You pick this one off. And even if it's, say, at worst, the 35-yard line of your own 35, anything's possible.
That's right.
And the way we'll have overtime, my goodness, it has been a long time since I've had an overtime game in high school.
I don't know if many people remember way back when Ames and Valley had, the score was at the end of regulation 14-14. And I think the final was 55-49 or something along those lines. What they are exact, Paul. 24.6 going on to the clock instead of 24.0. So in overtime, it could extend this game quite a bit.
Starcevic, shotgun. Throws, caught. Williams at midfield. Running down the far sideline, gets out of bounds at the 40. First down, 17.8. And now you're a couple of plays from being within a field goal.
Yep. I'm saying that you get to the 30, you got a legitimate shot at taking an attempt at that field goal.
You're out of timeouts. You got to run something to that far sideline. Starcevic. No. We got illegal motion. I don't know why that play wasn't blown dead, but if it's on the offense, the man lined up at the top, looked at the official and moved. I thought they're supposed to blow that dead if it's on the offense.
I wonder if they'll put more time on the clock.
Oh, because it wasn't a false start. It was illegal motion.
Oh.
That's why the play kept going. So Starcevic, it wouldn't have mattered. The play was going against him.
Yeah.
All right, now the ball's back to the 43. 12.2. All right, if you're Valley, nobody behind you, right? If you're Polk, you got to figure out a way. You maybe run one route to clear it, a second route to come in that hole.
I'm waiting for their hitch and pitch.
Starcevic throws. Dropped. And it was Johnson and Shelton locked up. And I think the Southeast Polk fans thought maybe there should have been a little more laundry. I look across that Polk fan base. They got to stand up. The students are yelling. $7.8. Second down, 15 yards to go. If somehow Polk is able to get that first down, they'd be inside the 30. It'd be a long field goal, but it would be a chance. Starcevic gets away, far sideline. Johnson got his 1 foot in. He's up to the 35, but now
I kind of feel like you're close enough to give this a chance.
3.9, and they're going to try and kick it.
This would be 51
yards.
Now,
Luke Williams.
The last time Williams was on the left hash from this far out, he pulled it left. That can sometimes happen when you really didn't try and put your leg into it.
Starcevic on the hold. The kick. It's long enough. Is it accurate? No good. Wide left. That had the distance.
It did.
Playing that wind, which was going left to right, and that is the end of regulation. We're tied at 27. Who let this guy into the building to give us a tie?
Peter.
All right, so we are tied at regulation at 27. And that is, we will take a break, set it up, and we'll figure out what side of the field we're going to play, who gets the ball first when we come back. We've played 4 quarters. It's not enough. Valley and Polk tied at 27.
Faster, healthier. You want more. You want to be part of something bigger than yourself. A place for people of all ages, all walks of life, that provides opportunities for all to succeed. We do that. We're the why. Build more than muscle. Build a stronger community. You want to get...
fall in love with our grounds. They're impressed with our dining room, but it is our spacious 2 and 3 bedroom suites that attract the most attention. With bay windows, full kitchens, large walk-in closets, and modern appliances, the lodge feels like home. We have suites move-in ready, or we will help you customize. Create a home office, media room, or bedroom for visiting friends or family. Call us today for a private tour and ask about our flexible pricing plans.
Great selection, great experience. That's what people expect today. What isn't expected is how hard we work after the sale to keep your business. Hard work, honesty, integrity, discipline, trust, character. These core values are why we grow every year and why we continue to acquire more dealerships. Experience the Schottenkirk way of doing business and come visit our new Ford dealership in Indianola. Great.
And here, we don't just dream of a better tomorrow, of a smarter way to do business or live, of perseverance and progress. We inspire it in others. We challenge the conventional, reimagine what it means to be better, and then dare ourselves to make it great. This is Iowa, and here, we don't just dream, we make history. This is...
I was telling a couple people today, I said, you know, I think I finally have a good game. I think I finally have one that's going to be close. Sure enough, 4 quarters not enough. Valley and Southeast Polk tied at 27. Here's how we scored. Javon Mason led off the game with a 46-yard touchdown run. Then Shane Starcevich right up the gut, 85 yards, tied at 7. Then Starcevich again, this time a 28-yard run, 14-7 Polk. And then Luke Williams, a field goal from 25 yards out to make it 17-7. Bo Lombardi scored a touchdown from 1 yard out back in the second quarter. Missed point after attempt there after the penalty. And then Luke Williams had a field goal to make it 20-13 at the half. And that, too, was after a penalty that gave Polk another opportunity. Ryan New had a 65-yard touchdown pass that was tipped. And then we were tied at 20. Then Creighton Mitchell, a touchdown, and then Gavin Williams, a touchdown, and that made it tied at 27. Right now what we're doing is flipping the coin to see who gets the ball first and then what end zone we're going to play in. The rules are, let's just see what our call is.
Valley has won the coin toss. They will be on defense. We will play on that end of the field.
So we're going to play on the south end, and each team gets a chance to score. And are we going to the, do we go to the 25 or do we go to the 10?
Goes to the 10.
Yeah, it goes to the 10. So no first downs. And usually if you win the toss, you defer.
Correct.
You want to play defense because you want to
defense.
know what
you have to do.
what you have to do.
offensively. Yeah, especially when both teams get the opportunity to have an offensive series. It's not like the NFL, or the NFL used to be. How is the NFL doing it these days?
You just start playing and they put a full quarter time on the clock, and then you could end in a tie. You could play the full, 12 minutes, 15 minutes a quarter, and whoever scores the first touchdown
or points wins.
No, it's not a field goal anymore.
Okay.
Polk has it, 1st and 10, and I really should say 1st and goal. Starcevich empties out the backfield. Watch out for Williams, top of the screen. That's where they've gone. That play's worked. Instead, they go underneath to Snyder. He's stopped. First tackle missed. Second tackle comes through. Coming through, nearly taking the head off, is Jake Snyder.
There was definitely contact made.
Yeah.
And but now it's 2nd and 5. Good pickup after the initial contact of only 2 yards.
Yeah. All right. Turn that crowd mic up, Jimmy. Let's hear what's left of him. We got to hear him cheer. Starcevich, play action, rolls right side, off the hands of his intended receiver, Scott Bell. It'll be 3rd down. Say hello to those that have been watching other games tonight on the network. Glad to have it here on CISN.TV. Paul Yeager, Keith Bornas at Valley Stadium, tied at 27. We're in overtime number 1.
Are you suggesting that other games have concluded by now?
Well, I think most games conclude before we ever get going. It's as we approach 10:30. There's teams that are home from road trips already. Starcevich on 3rd down. Sends Flynn in motion. Starcevich keeps it up the gut, runs to the end zone, touchdown!
A well-designed play. Motion, you're expecting it to go across. They've been running the sweep effectively. Starcevich has been attacking the middle successfully. But the offensive line of Southeast Polk has really done a great job up front overall tonight.
Luke Williams on to attempt the extra point. It's good. 34-27 is our score. So Polk takes the lead back in the first overtime on a 5-yard run by Shane Starcevich. And you know, so now you know what you have to do.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you have to do?
Well, the first thing you now have in the back of your mind is you have 4 downs to get it in the end zone now. It's not a question of aligning the ball to get a 3 points in a field goal. 4 downs. So you got 2.5 yards.
Wildcat formation. Javon Mason takes the snap. Keeps it, goes up the gut. It was him and Trey Fugate there.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry to cut you off, Keith.
Not a problem.
That's the first time I've seen Wildcat from Valley, maybe ever.
And a gain of 2.
And Lombardi will go back in. That was the option read. Fugate comes out. Lombardi comes back in. 2nd and 8. There is no clock. All there is a play clock. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I said, hey, there were 2 guys ran off for Valley. I think they only had 10 guys in the field. They do. Timeout, Valley.
There are certain situations where teams have an advantage because of talent, tradition, things like that. But you don't need to just hand them an advantage. If you're going to try and score and you don't have a playmaker on the field, that kind of poses a problem.
So now Southeast Polk scored on 3rd down on their chance with the ball. Valley has 3 more chances to score.
Mm-hmm.
And if they do, we do it again, but this time Valley would go first.
Yes.
And Polk would go second.
And then if that plays out and they go through a second overtime, then they need to start going for 2 after that.
Oh, it gets intriguing. Lombardi taps the head. Looks. Pocket collapses, throws, caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tigers. Luke Matney.
A very nice play by Bo Lombardi stepping up. You have to have a lot of poise in the pocket to be able to do that. And that was very well executed.
Luke Matney. The pass from Bo Lombardi, pending the extra point, which has not been automatic tonight. But tonight, on this one, it is. We go to overtime number 2. Tied at 34. Well, isn't that special? We will take a break and back with overtime number 2 on CISN.TV.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields. Here's to everyone who believes in
Why look for
competition.
the seal? It's about trust. Whether I'm buying a car, hiring a contractor, finding a tax preparer, or an honest mechanic, the Better Business Bureau seal means this business meets high standards. When I see the seal, I know I'll get what I pay for. No more taking chances and no more worries. And I feel good about supporting local businesses. My life is so much easier knowing I can always trust BBB accredited businesses. It pays to look for the seal. See for yourself at bbb.org/Iowa. Why do I look for the
I opened the hearing clinic to offer patients and their families a positive healthcare experience. If you have trouble hearing clearly at church, at the movies, watching TV, or with your friends and family in a group conversation, what are you waiting for? In less than half an hour, we can give you peace of mind and answer any questions that you may have. Call us today to schedule your appointment. The Hearing Clinic, 515-440-3323. We listen, you hear.
Overtime dose. First handoff is Javon Mason around the right side. He puts his head down, gets inside the 5, and it'll be second down and 5. Keith, we joke about who might be home already or who might be watching.
Yes.
I got to say hello to the Dowling Catholic football team that's watching in the cafeteria now, and I'm sure, and I know Dar Danielson is watching after his game at Waukee. So hello to those of you that might be watching as we tick past 10:30 on Friday night here in Middle America. We're in West Des Moines. It's Valley and Southeast Polk. Overtime number 2. Paul Yeager, Keith Bornis. That's Bo Lombardi under center. I formation. Javon Mason spins his way. He's into the end zone. Touchdown, Tigers. And there was no doubt about that, Keith, that Javon Mason was going to find his way into the end zone.
He certainly did. And now, pending the extra point here, that does start to put pressure on Polk's offense because you got to respond to it.
You don't get a lot of stats when it comes to yards, but you do get it on touchdowns. The kick, not a great snap, but it is just enough for the kicker to knock it through. And Tinsley Wright does his duty, and we're tied, or we're not tied any longer. Polk moves back up, or trails now 41-34. Gosh. What time did we start? Like 3 hours ago?
It was 3 hours ago.
You know, we haven't even talked. We've talked about it. I think state softball when we had that last game. We hadn't even started the last game at this point. We didn't start that till 11:30.
Mm-hmm.
So I got another 3 hours to go. The game that never ended. I didn't have that game. The 16-inning affair.
Yeah, the endurance. I have the endurance for this. Hey, Paul, guess what?
Hey, Keith, what?
My grandpa just yesterday, one of these 2 days, turned 102.
Oh, that's awesome. I remember.
Happy birthday, Grandpa.
Past his bedtime yet?
Oh, no. He's a party animal.
Starcevich sends Flynn in motion. They fake. Starcevich keeps up the middle. A slew of black surrounds him. But Starcevich finds his way forward. Tackle made by the Tigers. Darius Manuel.
3 plays to go 7 yards.
Because, again, it's that same scenario. If you're Polk, you know you have to get a touchdown. You know you have 4 plays.
And if you do get a score here, you toy with the idea of going for 2.
Starcevich has got a crowded backfield there. His fullback, Flynn on the jet sweep. Starcevich looks for a slot and doesn't get anywhere. It's the Logans. Logan Krausman, and it was Jacob McCudden that was also in there. Yeah, 98.
Yes, there was a gain of about a half a yard on that. I'm going to give that play to Valley as the defensive line really hung in there and stopped any forward push.
Polk not being as aggressive on this series, but I absolutely look for them to pass the football right now. Some play action maybe. Williams goes in motion. Look for him on the wheel. They're going back. Starcevich runs out of time. Throws it down.
Oh.
And that is
grounding.
That's going to be grounding. And Starcevich is going to argue that his receiver was right there. But Starcevich clearly was throwing it into the ground.
Yeah, it's a loss of down.
Loss of down, so it'll be 4th down.
And maybe even a spot foul. Yeah.
Goes back to the 21. So now all of a sudden Polk has to get 21 yards to even have the chance to keep playing. This is the last play of the ball game, possibly. 41 Valley, 34 Southeast Polk, and a wise timeout by Brad Zelenovich.
I think it was on Valley.
Forget the drama. No, I think it was Polk.
Okay, then they pointed the wrong way.
Well, then I'm not watching the game. I really wasn't. All right, so you've had a chance to watch this game tonight.
Mhm.
You're 21. You can throw any play right here. I mean, you're not going to run it. You're looking for Williams. You're looking for Gavin Williams somewhere, somehow.
I'm actually not.
You're looking for Flynn. I'm looking for Flynn.
I'm looking for, the pass down the field. But at the same time, Polk is notorious for coming up with some type of a weird concoction late in a game or when you absolutely least expect it. So I don't know why a hitch and pitch wouldn't work here for him. I'm not expecting it. I'm expecting you to go to the guys that have gotten you here. So, yeah. We'll see what they do down the field here.
Polk has one play to put it to the end zone with a chance to continue this football game. Otherwise, it's over. Valiant effort by both teams. Starcevich, 3 receivers left. Williams also on his left. Starcevich, all the time, throws, caught, and...
Unbelievable.
Is he stopped at the half-foot line?
They stopped it on the 1.
Not even the 1. Valley wins. What a finish. Unbelievable. Flynn is stopped short. A ball length from extending this game, and Valley escapes.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
One of the great finishes in high school football. And I can't hardly remember back to that third quarter where it just hung on, where really nobody did much of anything, only to have all of that excitement in the last 4 minutes of the regulation and the 2 overtimes.
Whew. Man, oh man, oh man. And I didn't even see who made the stop there. But Flynn was running and running.
I think he wanted to get in.
Oh, I think
he
so.
Certainly looked
and
like
he
it.
was probably the toughest guy to get in there. I mean, he's the guy, Keith, that I would want in there. Hello, everybody. Keith Bornes, Paul Yeagers. We wrapped this one up here at Valley Stadium tonight, and we had a humdinger. This is one of the best football games I've seen in quite some time.
That's right.
And the 3 and outs, you know, you always just say, oh, the offense couldn't figure out anything to do. Give the defenses credit.
Oh, boy. Both defenses really played well. Big plays given up by both defenses. Big stops by both defenses. It was very exciting.
You know, it comes down to fundamentals on a number of things. Extra points, no penalties.
Yep.
You know, Valley could say they won this game twice. They probably should have won it in regulation or at least maybe forced Polk to be a little more aggressive in the last few seconds. But both teams absolutely chances to win tonight.
Yes, and I'm going to be very interested to see how the rest of the season unfolds as district play continues, who's going to be in, who's not going to be in. Then, of course, how is the state going to decide who's going to play who and draw everything up after that?
Well, right now, Valley puts themselves in the driver's seat with that win. Final score, 41-34. And I didn't see I didn't know if they put the last play of the game back up on the board here at Valley Stadium. But Valley early on had a 7-0 lead. Starcevich had a couple of touchdowns. Gavin Williams only had one touchdown tonight. Yeah, one touchdown. And who else had one touchdown tonight?
Who else had one touchdown tonight?
Javon Mason.
Javon Mason.
The two big running backs with only one touchdown. But they both did. Actually, take that back. Mason did have two. He had the early one that was so long ago. So Mason has the bookmark touchdowns, the beginning and the end of this football game. So if you're Polk, you got nothing to hang your head about. If you're Valley, you've got nothing to hang your head about.
But both teams are going to the film room.
And they got to figure out what happened. Because as you said, Keith, all of a sudden, Polk doesn't get onto the Valley side of the field until 3 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. They go a quarter and 3 quarters. They go almost the full second half without finding their way onto that side of the field.
Yeah. Both teams are going to look at it and try and figure out why there became a stagnant part of the game, as you were talking about. Valley's offensive line does need to get it all put together.
Guess what we have?
What do we have?
We have the last play of the game.
Are you kidding me?
Let's go watch it again. Jimmy Olsen's going to play
take a look at it.
So we're going to stand up. We're going to go watch this last play. They're getting off of us as we move. This is technology, really exciting. There's Starcevich. He rolls. Doesn't even roll. Throws it to Flynn. And then I can't even tell who made that stop. Your ear looks good.
Thank you, Paul.
Man, what a good play. Watch that one again. That's our technology, folks. We get up and we move and we can see. Thank you, Jimmy. Flynn's the guy. We think Williams is the guy that would get the ball, but no, I think Flynn had. Let's face it. If they don't have Austin Flynn in that second half, Polk's not even in position to play for overtime.
Absolutely, he's a playmaker, and a lot of fun to watch. But credit Starcevich. What a great game for him. 2 touchdowns on the ground and 2 in the air.
Yeah. Good game.
So, great game.
All right. Hey, guess what? We have one more from Valley Stadium. Not tonight. Next Friday night.
It felt like 2 games tonight.
It did feel like 2 games. We started when there was daylight, I think.
That's right.
And we're finishing up. All right. Valley holds on in double overtime to win 41-34. Fantastic game here, and Keith, I'm glad we had a chance to call it.
It was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. We'll do it again next week for the final time of the regular season. Our thanks to everybody who made this broadcast possible, and for you for watching. We appreciate it wherever you were around the world. If you're watching us on the web or watching us somewhere in a restaurant, hi. But it's time to say goodbye. Valley wins in double overtime from Valley Stadium for one final time here. The Tigers win 41-34. Good night from West Des Moines.
Great selection, great experience. That's what people expect today. What isn't expected is how hard we work after the sale to keep your business. Hard work, honesty, integrity, discipline, trust, character. These core values are why we grow every year and why we continue to acquire more dealerships. Experience the Schottenkirk way of doing business and come visit our new Ford dealership in Indianola.
And here, we don't just dream of a better tomorrow, of a smarter way to do business or live, of perseverance and progress. We inspire it in others. We challenge the conventional, reimagine what it means to be better, and then dare ourselves to make it great. This is Iowa, and here, we don't just dream, we make history.
Good sportsmanship. Who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose. just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
It's about trust. Whether I'm buying a car, hiring a contractor, finding a tax preparer, or an honest mechanic, the Better Business Bureau's seal means this business meets high standards. When I see the seal, I know I'll get what I pay for. No more taking chances and no more worries. And I feel good about supporting local businesses. My life is so much easier knowing I can always trust BBB accredited businesses. It pays to look for the seal. See for yourself at bbb.org/Iowa.
Miss your hometown clothing store? The one that had it all? Everything to get the work done, all in one place? G&L Clothing is your hometown Iowa store. Stop in and see us. Or we're only a click or phone call away. Family owned for nearly a century. G&L Clothing. 1801 Ingersoll, Des Moines.